who are your favorite wrestlers in the world right now? We'll find out who our favorite wrestlers are in this episode of Sit Down Marks.
Hey, welcome everybody. You know it. It is Sit Down Marks Wednesday. Marks, what's going on, boys?
Hello.
Not a whole lot, man. What a great weekend we got to talk about.
We're all back to like normal lives and stuff, and it's boring. So boring. I'm bored.
I know,
man. I'd much rather be sitting back on the stage at AAW watching wrestling, man. I'm missing it already.
That was so cool.
It was amazing.
It was.
But nonetheless, man, we had an action-packed weekend of wrestling on TV and live. We got a lot to get to today. Let me start off here by introducing you to the my co-host here today. Let me start with my assistant editor and producer, straight out of your mama's kitchen with those Cesaro punches to your bread basket. You know who it is, big AJ. Here you go. Welcome, AJ.
Oh, hi, Marks. What's happening?
Hi,
Still
Daddy.
thirsty. Need to take a drink out of my sit down Marks mug.
Next up, the other co-host of the show from the land of the rattlesnake, Mr. Team Extreme. He all wants us to acknowledge him. We're still thinking about it. We're on the fence. Editor and producer of the show, the leader of the Johnny Drip Drip fan club, Primo Silver Fox. Welcome, sir.
Wait, who's on the fence about acknowledging? There is no acknowledging of...
You're right. Nobody's on the fence. Everybody chooses to acknowledge me.
There's no fence.
I'm trying to give him a little bit of something here, you know.
The reign is about to be defended soon.
It is.
It is for the first time.
What's the number? Tell everybody out there in audio land.
In case you marks can't read, that's 119 days as your Sit Down Marks pay-per-view champion.
I'm going to feel really stupid when you really win it again, and then you can be like, the reigning and defending.
Let us not forget, I am the champ, because I'm also the Scored Circle champ.
Yep,
Yeah,
I'm
I
taking
lost
that.
my rematch, so
I'm taking that down tonight. I'm taking that down tonight. All right, let's get to tonight's very special guest, man. If you've been to an indie show across the United States, you've probably seen this guy at an indie show and just not know him. He's one of my good wrestling buddies, man. I love going to shows with my boy Adam here. Welcome to the show, Adam. Appreciate it, buddy.
All right. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, welcome.
We had to bring Adam on because we normally go to the SCI show together the last couple of years. We didn't get to go this year together because we was already going to Chicago. So Adam was down at the SCI, so he's going to cover everything that happened down there, and we're going to ask him a lot of questions and talk about it. But real quick, Adam, how you feeling about the Marshall Thunder and Herd this year, man? How's the football team looking?
Ooh, man. All new coaching staff. Big recruiting chops on this guy coming from Alabama.
Right, yeah.
Optimistic.
We'll take it, man. We'll take it. Hey, I know I'm pretty fired up, man. My Tar Heels are ranked higher than some of these other football teams represented in this league right now for the first time. So I'm going to eat this up because my Tar Heels, you know, obviously we're a basketball school, but I'm going to eat this up, man. We got a good season coming up, but I'm getting excited. But let's get started with the show here. Big Beef, tell them what's up, baby.
It's the Beefster here, and I'm telling you, you better turn into the Sit Down Marks podcast with AJ, Dirty Bird, and Primo. And if you don't, Beef's gonna have to hit you with that beefy bomb. Tune in, folks. They won't disappoint you.
That beefy bomb. He's trying to tell y'all, folks.
He doesn't blink during that. That's the first time I've noticed that he does not blink throughout that entire thing.
That's right, because crazy gimmick don't blink, brother.
I'm going to try it, see how long I can last.
Try it. See if you can make it through the part where I say thank you to all the sponsors and everyone listening right now on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Prime Music, Audible, and Sportnarium Radio, coming soon to be SportzWire online radio every Friday at, I think we're on at 6:45 now throughout the week. Basically anywhere you can get your podcast, you can hear us. How'd you doing, AJ? Did you blink yet?
Not yet. It hurts.
All right, still going. All right, Primo, get us rolling here, brother. Today, what happened today in wrestling history, and who's got a birthday?
All right, let me talk to you. This day in wrestling history.
I blinked.
That was pretty good. That was a little wild.
AJ.
Yeah.
Champ speaking. All right. Today, August 11th, 1997, Raw is War.
All right.
Ravishing Rick Rude makes his WWF return as Shawn Michaels' insurance policy.
In the suit. He showed up in the suit.
That's right. That's right. Hey, let me see you, Rick Rude. Go ahead.
Well, AJ's
There you
gonna
go.
actually
There
do
you
it.
go.
Yeah. Swinging the hips.
All right, let's move on.
Valvinus before Valvinus.
One more we got here. In honor of all the indie wrestling we watched. In honor of all the indie wrestling we watched this past weekend, I put one more on here. It's 2012 Ring of Honor presented Boiling Point. Featured names such as Adam Cole, Roddy Strong, QT Marshall, Michael Elgin, Tommaso Ciampa, and the main event for the ROH World Heavyweight Championship was Kevin Steen defeating Eddie Kingston.
What a stacked card that is for ROH.
Wow.
Yeah, to retain his title.
Crazy how the circus tables turn in wrestling, like
right.
with the promotions, right? Like it's nuts, man. That's
all right.
crazy.
Wrestling birthdays. I just picked 3 from this week. 1980, we have I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
I bet I can guess his exact birthday. It was yesterday.
It was. I said that it was this week. This week.
The time difference.
Yeah.
Guess that was... Never mind. I'll get to that later.
Wade Barrett's birthday. Yes, it was yesterday.
Today, but yesterday across the pond.
And tomorrow's birthday, 1972, we have the coach, Jonathan Coachman.
Jonathan Coachman. I love Coach.
And the best, I saved the biggest one for last. 1953. That's August 11th, 1953. Do we have any guesses in the house?
Yes, sir.
53.
Go ahead.
A real American. Right.
That's right. It's the Hulkster's birthday, brother.
Wait, tomorrow?
I cut grass today in honor of his birthday.
I also
you felt American today.
I did. I cut grass.
That's what Americans do. They cut grass.
Did you take your vitamins?
Yep. And I listened to the Real American while I cut it.
You do, don't you?
I do. Yeah.
Lousy Mark.
Yeah. I do that so my neighbors don't talk to me. They know I'm crazy.
Wait, who talks while they're mowing the lawn?
So they see me doing the Hulk poses on the lawnmower, and then they know not to mess with me. Like, oh, that dude's crazy, man.
Speaking of Wade Barrett, I also want to say tomorrow is my nephew Barrett's birthday. He will be 4 years old tomorrow. He's not named after Wade Barrett, but his name is Barrett, so we're pretending.
Happy birthday, Barrett.
That's Mike's son that comes on the show, correct?
Yep.
Happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday, Barrett.
Little Mark.
Can't wait to have you on the show one day, buddy.
Absolutely. Maybe
you'll be better than your dad and your uncle combined.
I was going to say, maybe he'll despise the unprettier as much as his father does.
He will.
That's where AJ got that diaper on a pole match he was talking about.
Yes.
He was thinking about what kind of match am I going to put my nephew in for his birthday?
Well, my nephew Bear was booking. He's like, diaper on a pole. He's 4, so he doesn't wear diapers, but he's like, diaper on a pole. I'm like, since when do you talk, Barrett?
I got something to say.
Go on.
And that is this day in history.
Very nice. Very nice. All right, let's get started with the show today. Welcome, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening all across the podcast platform here. Like I said, we got a big show today. We're going to talk about AAW. Adam's here to fill us in on all the SEI happenings. And we're going to talk our regular recap and all the crazy wrestling things that are going on right now. And before we get started here, Primo, we got Mark's merch, man. Where can we get some t-shirts and stuff?
That's right. We do have merch. You can visit our online store at tpublic.com/users/sit-down-marks.
There we go.
tpublic.com/USERS/SITDOWNMARKS.
Nice. You can get yourselves one of these big, huge tapestries. You probably don't need one, but this is definitely, if you're a big fan, right here's what you need.
Or the mug.
Everyone needs one.
Also, here is I'm
some yes. Whose face is that? Whose face for radio is that?
I don't know. I mean, he looks like it's like Summer Sting to me.
Wait, hold on.
What's the phrase?
Am I doing the face?
Yeah, you are. You gotta look the other direction. You gotta look at dirty
cakes.
Yeah,
so
the other
good.
way is the right way because it's opposite on the camera. Yeah. Get yourself some coffee mugs, onesies, all that good stuff for your babies and kids. So,
onesies. You know,
it always comes to mind about babies. Everybody
medical face masks.
Yeah, all that stuff for the big shutdown looming. So
fashion face masks.
Mark's face mask. So yes, should be fun here. So all right. So as I said earlier, you can get all the previous episodes on Twitch replays or the YouTube, or also all across all audio platforms. So all right, we got a lot of wrestling to talk about here. So let's get started. First, let's talk about the Scenic City Invitational, which was last weekend, Friday and Saturday, night 1 Friday, night 2 Saturday. All right, so let's talk about storyline, Adams. Coming into, as we had Daniel Makabe, shout out, by the way, got his Scenic City Invitational shirt on.
Awesome.
From 2019. Thank you, Daniel, for sending that to me. I greatly appreciate it. And thank you for being on the pod. So we had him on last week. He was trying to be the first person ever to win 2 Scenic City Invitationals in a row. So, Adam, we've been there a few times. You've been a couple more times than I, but we've been a few times together, and nobody's ever won, back to back. Why do you think that is, man?
Man, thinking about how stacked the field was this year, I think that's what really does it. When you were looking around at all the regional champions that were in the tournament this year, it was, in my book, there wasn't really anybody that couldn't win it this year.
Right.
And to be honest, the guy that ended up winning was towards the bottom of my bracket of people that I thought would win. So
who called it, by the way? This guy called it.
Yeah. All right. So don't give it away for anybody that didn't listen. We'll talk about the finish here at the end. So, but the lead up from the 2019, if you've seen the tournament or listened to the pod last week, Daniel come back out after taking a smash to the head by AC Mack with the belt. So he ended up coming back after AC thought he had won. And he comes in the ring to a huge, hero's welcome. He's coming back. The ears bleeding down the side of his head. He jumps in the ring. There's some mix-up. AC makes a mistake. Daniel gets him into cattle mutilation. Game over. He wins. Me and Adam's going crazy ringside. All right, so
crazy.
So we didn't have. Yeah, it was a fantastic tournament, man. It was really awesome. Me and Adam probably marked out bigger the Friday before when he wrestled Deppen, man. You remember that match live?
Yeah, that was unreal, man. Unreal.
It was, man. So I was so pumped up about it. We went back and watched it last week before Friday night's show came on. So that's how good it was. So, all right. So obviously no tournament 2020. So Daniel's coming back. He's as one of the entrants into the 2021 tournament, looking to be the first guy to go back to back, as we talked about. So, okay, let's talk about some other logistics first, man. So, we're used to seeing it down at Saudi Daisy High School the last few years. Yes. They moved it to a smaller arena. How did you think that worked out, Adam? Did it work out better? What do you think?
Personally, I thought it was better. It had more of an indie wrestling feel to it. And something that I didn't know going into it is the building was air conditioned. So
whoa, that's big for wrestling, man. For
that's
indie
new.
Wrestling, man. That's kind of why I like AAW. You always get that AC. But
yeah, man. So
awesome. That's good to hear.
No, but the aesthetic of it had a real. I don't know. I like my indie wrestling to feel a little bit grimy, and that place had that feel to it. But it had the feel of that's all that happens at that place.
Right.
It's just wrestling. So
sure.
Adam, where were your seat? We were looking for you while we were watching it.
Night 1, I was on the front row side of the ring that only had one row. That was against the wall.
Okay.
And then night
Papa
2,
was
I
down
was
from you, wasn't he? Papa was down.
Yeah. I was about the middle of that row.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Then night 2, I was looking right at the hard cam.
Okay. Let's talk about hard cam, by the way. My concern with the guys was we've seen shows there, and usually it's straightforward with the wall in the background, right?
Correct.
So that was my concern. So when it came on Friday night and I seen they had switched the cam, I was like, yes, had to have that, man, because I don't know, man. Like, I got to see the crowd. You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, so we were like scouring for you, like, first night. Where'd you sit night 2?
I was looking right at the hard cam. I was right in the middle of that.
Right. Okay.
Gotcha. I was wearing a yellow Makabe shirt.
That was him.
That was him.
Yeah.
Okay. So the rope was going like right here on you. Okay.
we were watching it, and Dirty was like, "I'm pretty sure that's him, but no. That's, yeah.
I don't remember him with a rope going across his face. So
that's how I couldn't find out if it was him or not, because the rope was
mask.
like directly. Yeah. So. So all right. So, I was. First of all, jealous. I wanted to be at this tournament. I felt like I was missing out on something after us being, going to it the last couple weekends. So give me the feel of the venue, man. How was it, with the protocols and masks and such?
I can't give that crowd and everybody that put the event together enough props, because everybody was very conscious of each other's space. There was no sort of mask discourse. They just said, everyone wear your mask, and everyone wore them. And we went in there, and the crowd was into it.
Dope.
Yeah, it's the kind of crowd that you want to be in. It was like not a bunch of people trying to really get themselves over, just everybody really into what was going on in the ring.
Sure.
It was a delight. It was a delight.
Yeah,
I want to know who told us not to tell them to sit down when the announcer was announcing our sponsorship.
Yeah, so
that joke happened twice.
Did it? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was hoping they would throw a podcast in there after it, so he wouldn't know. So it sound derogatory to us.
Sponsored by Sit Down,
Marks.
Even though we embrace the Marks, moniker here. Some still take it as
Don't tell us what to do.
Like how he is not attacking the crowd.
Right? Yeah, the announcer said that too.
Admonishment.
It's not being derogatory to the fans, folks. So that was funny, man. That was
great.
So, that's good. Well, that's good to hear, man. How many people you think were there? Ballpark.
Man, I am bad at this game, but
11.
200
in the biggest ballpark.
150, 200.
Okay.
About as much as you could fit in that joint.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's definitely a really small place. So yeah, not me getting too many people in there. That's awesome, man. Glad to see that it came off. Glad to see that everybody was pretty happy. So talk to me about the gimmick hotel, man. Any shenanigans? Because everybody usually stays at the same hotel. There's prom, karaoke, such and such. Yeah,
and
I've seen Tony Deppin's underwear before. What? Yes.
I did not attend the SCI prom this year. I kind of backed out on that one.
Yeah, I wasn't there, so you didn't have a date, so I understand why you didn't go.
You left me hanging.
The SCI prom.
I did. I won't do it next year, I promise.
Yeah.
That's great, man.
But the gimmick hotel, like you called it, it is what it is. It's almost
push it because they don't pay us, but we know what the gimmick hotel is for sure. The City Cafe, though, I will push them. Did you go eat there? Did you get to eat there?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you got to.
You gotta, if you do it, you gotta go get a piece of cake from there, man.
Yeah. It's one of those classic joints with the cakes and the pies, and
they have something like 50 different cakes to choose from.
I want cakes and pies.
Yeah, who don't love cake and pie?
You're gonna have to SCI next year. Get you some cake and pie, man.
That's right, man. We gotta get Primo. I think he's indulging in thinking of cakes and pies right now.
I was trying to think, do I like cake or pie better?
Yeah, that's often a bag. You should never have to choose. You should never have to choose.
I actually, personally, if you really want to know the truth, I prefer cheesecake.
I love cheesecake, but I like it.
Which is pie ripping off a cake.
But I will tear into both pie and cake as well, though.
Yeah.
As long as cake doesn't have like the I don't like store cake with like the weird frosting on it. Like I don't like that. I also don't like cookie cakes. Which get out of here, cookie. What are you? You're the worst of both worlds.
They have to be done
what
right.
You are.
Ice cream cakes.
Back to the tournament. We start with first Adam. Me and you talked when they started releasing names. If I remember, Eric Royal, I think, was your early pick. I think I agreed with you early too. I changed late, which I was still wrong. But
what did you change to?
I changed to Ison, man. I felt like maybe the local guy was going to get the rub. Like this year. I don't know. I don't know why. I just felt it. But like Eric was still there. Makabe, I listened to that interview. He had me leaning towards possible first time because he's so over there. You know what I mean? So all right. So did you change from Arik or did you stay?
I did not. I was I was Eric Royal till the end, man.
I want to call him Eric all the time because my name's Eric, and it's always weird when I say somebody else's name that's Eric. So and he spells it different. So always
spells it with
Eric.
an A.
Yeah, so that was interesting. So all right, so night one. Obviously, the podcast we sponsored ended up being the
main event.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
Yeah,
Makabe won a heck of a match. But Adam, talk about night one, man. What was your highlight matches? Kind of your couple faves.
Man, the one that really, really stuck out was the Daniel Garcia Graham Bell match. It was just I don't know. I thought it would be good, but man, they didn't hold back. They wrestled like they were on the big stage that they were on.
Sure.
What a weekend Daniel Garcia had.
Yeah, right.
It was Garcia and what's his name, Adam? It's on the tip of my tongue. The one that wrestled Makabe Thursday
Damian
night.
Tangra.
Damian Tangra, yeah. It was their two like coming out party weekends, kind of.
Very much.
Yeah, it was awesome. I was impressed with Alex Kane.
How about our friend of the show, our homie, Big Beef opening?
Yeah. He had to face AC right off the bat. First match. The crowd.
It was awesome.
It was. I love Beef's style, man. I do too. He's a throwback. He's hungry. He wants to get the crowd every time he's out. Adam was with me the night we seen Larry D when I started being a big fan of his. When he wrestled Larry D at St. Louis Anarchy, Adam was right next to me, and he just takes it, man. He's hungry, and and I was glad to see he got to wrestle Saturday too, man. So that was awesome.
He's gotten even meaner with his style too, and I really noticed that a lot in even the AC match where. He'll just step on a dude's face.
Take that boot.
Yeah, and that's right up my alley, man. And
right, face stepping.
Yeah,
that was super dope. So Friday night was really awesome, and so congrats to Makabe. Moves on tonight too. So all right, so we get to the futures showcase. And Robert Martyr ended up winning, which I kind of was telling the guys, he's been taking a lot of licks lately from a lot of veterans in the indie industry. JD Drake and some other guys are literally trying to chop this guy's chest off, and he's really putting in the time. He travels a lot, and I was pretty happy to see him win the futures. That was pretty sweet.
It was great, man. I don't know if anybody really takes a better beating than that guy. He just takes it, man. Even matches I saw before this weekend, but his first round match, that was kind of the story of the match. They set it up in the beginning of, he was in there with guys much larger than him, and he was just going to have to eat a lot of stuff to survive, and that was the story of the match, and it's what he did, and it was a blast.
Yep. Nice to see him come out on top, and it was a nice little heartfelt speech there that kind of proving that he belongs. So, all right, so we move to what's that?
One more thing about that, I don't think it showed up on the stream. after his speech and all that, when he walked to the back, you heard all the guys in the back give him the big round of applause, and
dope.
it seemed stretched out, and it was just kind of the exclamation point at the end of his the speech that you talked about. So
Sure. Oh,
cool,
very
man.
cool. Nice,
cool.
man. Yeah, it's always nice to get recognition from your peers, man. So really dope. And the corn belt cowboy came out and gave him the medal from he was last year's winner. So that was a nice touch as well. So and then we got some nice matchups. Throughout the day, Beef was in a few of the matchups. Any of those jump out to you, Adam? As I know, Makabe wrestled.
Yeah, he was in that tag match. I talked to him a little bit about that after the fact, and I'm very big on the locksmith Williams that he teamed with. So when Williams came out and then Makabe came out, I thought, wow, this match is completely geared to me. And then they brought out Kane and Tangra, and my mind was blown. And I asked him about it. I said, it's pretty brave to tease a really cool match and then swerve it to something even cooler.
Right.
And,
yeah.
That's props for pulling that off, because it was pretty cool.
Yeah, the announcers really sold it as like a singles match. We were kind of like, oh, and then Makabe put out his hand, to signify the tag. So yeah, that was a nice little gem there to get for everybody that showed up. So
that match was definitely one of the highlights of the weekend for me. I loved it.
Sweet. All right, so let's move on to a Saturday night. Oh, by the way, Adam, did they do the big? Of course they didn't show it. Did they do the raffle of the poster?
Yeah,
like they always do.
Yeah, they did one for Futures and one for SCI, and it's the same guy that buys them every year.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
same dude.
It's usually kind of two the same dudes going at it. I'd love to bid, but I know I'm not going to pay, upwards of what they want to pay.
I mean, it was like, I don't know, $200-$300, something in there. Yeah.
All right. So my last question is, did we have a Duke the Dumpster Drosy signing this year? Did we have
no Duke this year.
Darn.
That makes me kind of sad that there was no Duke.
No Duke. Can't get your picture made with a trash can.
Maybe if they go back to Saudi Daisy next year.
Yeah. That's the lead into my next question, man. What's the rumor? Any rumors about next year?
Haven't heard. They announced the dates, but location to be announced.
Okay.
I'm hoping it's at the same place personally.
Yeah.
But, it just feels more wrestling like to me.
Okay. I don't know. We'll see. I think there's benefits to both places, but yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. I guess they always have that, there, and it's in Red Bank, right? It's where TWE runs. So
yeah.
Nice. Okay. All right. So let's get to Saturday night as everything all broke down as we're, getting to the semifinal matches. So they announced the matchups, and then we're heading towards the finale. So what were the big matches, Adam, Saturday night that really jumped out at you?
Man, to tell you the truth, all four of the second round matches, right up my alley. I was a big fan of Eric Royal and Daniel Makabe from Mania weekend.
Sure.
I knew that both of those guys were also big on wanting to wrestle each other again. So,
and I remembered Eric won the first one.
Yep. And when both the guys are excited to wrestle each other, that's what you want. They delivered there. Every time Daniel Garcia touched a wrestling ring this weekend, it was awesome. So, him and Jaden Newman, pretty awesome again.
Jaden was another one I was kind of thinking possibly, maybe this could be, the time for him. Like I always Joey ruined me. Joey Lynch, you remember? You know what I mean? So because the year before when he lost, I thought, man, seems like next year is going to be his year. And then everything kind of started to come. He started to get some looks by some bigger companies. 205 Live came calling, and then so it was like his time. So I kind of had those same vibes with some local guys. But all right, so we get to the final, and everybody, I think everybody with bated breath knows that we're looking at AC Mack versus Daniel towards the end as we get to the 4-way. So it was AC Mack, Daniel, Garcia, and let's see, who was the fourth one? Adam?
Kane.
Yeah, and Kane. So awesome storyline. I loved how they broke this match down and how it ended up with just Mack and Makabe. What was the crowd like during this match? What was the feel? Was everybody leaning towards Makabe, or was
it was the longer the match went, the more the crowd was AC Mack.
Really?
Yeah, and it was
that darn heel was reeling them in.
I was confused. I didn't understand, but I'm not local. I'm not I'm not in the scene every week or every month.
Yeah. He's a big action wrestling staple. He was the champion there for quite a long time. Eric is now the champion, so he's very popular in that area. A lot of people know who AC Mack is. And he's got a big mouth to let everybody know if you don't know.
Yeah, but that guy's gold on the mic. I mean, he really is. Not a lot of people have that kind of energy on the indies, and he talks like he believes it. And that's the thing that we compliment people like Kingston and stuff on.
Sure. And I love that he's from the swamps of Atlanta.
Yeah, the swamps of Atlanta.
Oh, that's great. All right, Adam. So talk about the finish of AC Mack and Makabe. The finish of the tournament. AC Mack wins. How'd it go down?
Man, like I said, when it got down in that finishing stretch and the crowd was just more AC Mack, and I was like, man, are they really doing this? And then he hits his finish twice to put him away. The crowd goes bananas, and that's when I started. If you see me watching it, I'm just sitting there like. I just kind of taking it all in, and I really thought it was amazing that they built to a similar finish with the same guys without turning anybody, and still got the reaction they want.
Exactly. Yeah.
Everyone lost their minds when Dan beat him 2 years previous.
Right. Yeah.
They did no swerves, turns, anything. They just did it with in-ring work.
Yeah.
And then.
Yep.
The guy that he beats him, and the crowd, and it got just the perfect response. And
that fickle SCI crowd.
Yep.
They want the babyface pop on the heel or whoever.
But that's I don't know. That seems that's pretty impressive to pull that off.
It
must be just exactly what they wanted.
Yep. I will say this, that I found out who won as we were riding back from Chicago. Primo and I was shocked but not shocked. I wanted to know basically after I found out who won how the crowd reacted, so I was anxious to watch after that, man. So yeah, it was pretty wild, but so the return happened and AC Mack gets the win.
Did the pop come across on the stream very well when he won?
Sort of, like you can see like some reaction, but I mean, you could tell there was a lot. It didn't seem loud, but it seemed enough, he was definitely getting more than what I thought. I kind of thought there'd be boos. I thought it'd be, the boo, the bad heel one,
Yeah.
But overall, great tournament, man. Kudos to them. As Adam said, they put on a great show. They do a great job with matchups. And, Adam, they didn't really bring in, a lot of times they'll bring in some nostalgic acts sometimes, as we've seen, Too Cold Scorpio. I'm trying to think of another one the other day I remember they brought in. But, but they basically stuck to the wrestling scene this year, so it was kind of nice to see.
Yeah, this year had the vibe that between the tournament and the future show. I felt like they're really not just figuring out what they want to do, but they're really executing what they're aiming for. So I think this was the best year that they've done. So it was probably between this and the 2016 year, with the year they had Hero in it.
Yeah.
But this year was the most coherent, put together. Everything, all the pieces worked together. It all worked. It all worked to an end.
Nice.
And then the end worked out great.
Yeah, that's great to hear, man. Thank you once again for letting us sponsor a first round match of Maccabi versus Priest, and I'm sure next year we'll be right there again. So thanks, Adam, for that report, man. Hopefully next year we'll be sitting right next to you watching the show with you.
Yep, and eating some cake.
Or pie.
Right. Eating some cake
or pie.
Or
pie.
pie.
Right, well, the reason why we weren't there, we were in Chicago at 115 Bourbon Street, on the south side of Chicago at Marionette Park for Savages and Kings. Right there, the poster Primo's holding up, August 7th, 2021. The headliner was the return of Eddie Kingston after 2 years of being gone. He's back at his home of AAW, where he is a former champion. He's had tons of battles. He's been there a long time. So this was his big return. We set up on the stage. We were second row, right behind or where right next to where the wrestlers come out. So Primo got to stand next to guys like Jake something. I think Russ Jones stared into his soul.
Yeah.
Russ Jones is my homeboy.
I notice you're not saying that out loud.
Yeah. I think he's scared to say Russ Jones's name because he snatched his soul through his eyes.
And then he gave me the nod of approval afterwards.
He did, which was the most terrifying head nod I've ever seen in my life.
Right. Yep. It was a really awesome show. Colt Cabana returned. He wrestled Larry D. Me and AJ and Primo all stood up there.
We did this until he turned around and did it back.
Yep. We probably did it for a good 3 minutes straight of just not moving.
Probably. After a minute, you're committed. And hey, I was pledging.
We were. And then he did it back, so we're all in the dark order now.
Yep, we're members.
Yep, so it was totally cool to see him there. It was a lot of good matches, man. Primo, AJ, talk to me, man. What were some of y'all's favorites?
Oh, man, that Jake something in Shaft match. How about that?
That was
a
fantastic.
banger, dude. Man, it was hard.
They just
hitting.
beat the tar out of each other.
It was hard hitting. Adam, it reminded me of the last time I think me and you seen like Moose and Keith Lee.
Yep.
Like right after Keith Lee, or not long before he went, and Moose was about to sign too, and it was like they're going away, and man, it was as hard as that night, man. It was awesome.
Awesome.
I'm glad that Ace Austin didn't die. Like he took a bump that. He also botched his entrance.
He botched his entrance.
So bad.
Oh, you got to tell that story.
He had one of those. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say he's got the little, the thing that he puts on the ground. It pops up like a baton.
So,
it's a retractable staff thing.
So you guys, I bought a prop specifically for this show. He had one of these.
He had one of those. Oh God!
And he set it down.
Yeah.
And it kept
it fell over.
It didn't. So it didn't. He didn't sit on the clicker.
No.
Yeah, it just tipped over.
So then when he went to do like this, I guess, is this gonna stab me? Like, am I gonna get impaled?
Better make sure you shoot it right way.
You're putting it.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
He did that, and when he did that, it flew off into
almost hit the person. Yeah,
shot off to the left into the front row, and he
had to catch it.
Now the cameraman's standing right in front of him, so he can't really get around him to get his sword. So it was a total botched entrance, man.
It was great.
By the way, this is the best $4 I've ever spent in my entire life.
Where did you get that?
FYE, you know that weird.
Oh yeah. Music store.
Yeah, they had this for some reason.
That is dope.
Yeah,
so Infantry retained the tag titles. Yeah, Shaft and Jake Something was the match of the night for me. Definitely, that was.
And the main event was good too.
I like the main event.
Main event was for different reasons. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not even because of Eddie. It's just, did you see, what's his name?
His chest and
yeah.
neck. Yeah.
Fidget.
Oh my
Fidget.
God.
Yeah.
Fidget. Yeah, thank you.
Matt Fidget.
I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It looked like hamburger meat. It was absolutely destroyed.
Yep. Ace Austin won the 4-way, and he is now the #1 contender for the AAW Heritage title. Jody Threat won the triple threat women's match for the #1 contenders title, so she gets to wrestle Allison Kay. Allison Kay beat Melanie Cruz on the card. And then the main event was the return of Eddie Kingston, right, from AEW.
So awesome.
They played a fire promo of him talking about, you never forget where you came from. I was broke down in the dumps. I called out Cody. Anyway, so that was before the match. He talks about returning home. So the gimmick was Eddie was going to come with a partner, and then Fred Yehi was going to pick a partner as well. So Yehi comes out. His mystery partner is returning Stallion Rogers, a.k.a. Kurt Stallion.
He looked great, too.
Yeah, he did, man.
He was fantastic.
Yep. Freaking great shape, man. And he was determined. He let it all hang out, man. He was laying that headbutt at him like he always did, man. He hit Eddie with it one time, and I seen Eddie go back to him and be like, I see him say, like, mother, that headbutt, dude. Like, I can read, because he laid into it. And then he ended up saying something later about it.
Yeah, at the end, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he's Stallion Rogers now, not Kurt Stallion. So he's back. And then, so Eddie comes out, heroes welcome. The one guy out in the crowd who threw the streamer
premature,
early,
man.
It is your fault, dude.
It is. You're supposed to wait till he gets in the ring.
Till he gets in the darn ring, man. He wanted to sit there and soak it up.
There was like 100 of us that had streamers.
We were, man. All right, so yeah, he was walking up. He was kind of walking back and forth, soaking it. Everybody was like, you could hear everybody going, wait. So the guy is, and he don't even get in the ring. One guy throws one from way in the back, like.
And then there's like
whistle, and then it's like doo-doo-doo. You know how it is, like everywhere, man.
Like, well, I guess we got to throw ours now.
Yeah. Now it's time to go.
I was taking video of it. I went back and laughed because I'm like, shit. Well, dang it. That I was grabbing because I had it. I had my roll at my feet. Everybody I was enjoying it, man. Like soaking it up. Eddie's back. The king. And then and then the guy throwing it, and I'm like, no! While it's in the air, like slow motion, no!
And once you saw that one, it was just like he just unleashed the floodgate.
Man, I tell you what, man, that was a heck of a pop, boys. That was Road Warrior pop, man. It was nice.
If you see that, there's that picture floating around, though. That is a cool picture still of him by the rings, standing outside the ring with the streamers.
By the way, I botched my streamer throw because I let go of it. So it just, like, the rolled up streamer just sailed off into the crowd.
Nice.
Well done, AJ. Well done.
I got that in their beer. Hopefully it hit the guy that threw his first.
I know, like, hope it hit him right in the head.
But, man, it was dope. Eddie come back. Man, it was a hard-hitting fight. As usual, Adam, they ran, fought all through the crowd, drug across the bar. People took bumps on the bar.
The women did the whole DDT on the bar.
Yeah. But Eddie and them fought out through,
hold on. So who was Kingston's partner?
Oh, I'm sorry. So Eddie's partner says, he's got a partner that's on his same level. Matt Fitchett comes out.
Yeah, it's Matt Fitchett.
Yeah. Okay. So Fitchett was his tag partner. Yeah, they went back and forth. This match was about Eddie coming back, but it was really more of a shine for Fitchett because he took the big bumps, he took the big chops, and he got the big spots and ended up with the pin for the win at the end of the night. So yeah. It almost feels like I don't know, like a little shine, a little push might be coming for Fitchett. Like it might be his Jim Lynam tournament time or something, man.
It was a bit of a showcase.
Yeah, it was. And they ain't touching him in Vega yet either.
It feels like he's been on deck there for a long time.
Same. Yeah. The Dirty Rook. Yep. So
The Dirty Rook.
It was awesome. Eddie cut a fantastic promo as usual after the match. Apparently, there was some possibly guys in the crowd that was giving Kurt some junk about, talking trash about him getting cut, from WWE. So Eddie, thank God, man, he got on the mic and started ripping.
Yeah, he let him have it.
He was
it was
mad.
great, man. It was great, and so yeah, he basically told him to hit the exits if they didn't like it, kind of deal. So it was really awesome.
I'm pretty
promo.
sure he also said, if you don't like it, come see him.
Yeah, come see him.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
That's
basically.
awesome.
So yeah, it was really super cool. And then he cut an awesome promo. You guys probably see online. He's like, I never want to throw a football, never want to score a touchdown, hit a home run. All I want to do is be a professional wrestler. And
That was
he
so
thanked
cool.
AAW for helping him, sticking with him when nobody else really gave him a shot, that kind of stuff. So, man, it was just super fire. Their next show is September 2nd down at Logan Square. The promo or the card is called Destination Chicago. They've basically announced the same guys there. Juice Robinson is going to be on that card. So that's what's coming up in AAW.
When are you going to Seattle?
At the end of August.
Okay, because Kingston is going to Seattle. For his Defy debut at Mad Kingdom, September 25th.
Okay. Yep. Defy runs up there in the Pacific Northwest. What'd you say, Adam?
So that's all out weekend, right?
It is all out weekend.
Yeah.
Yep. At Logan Square. Yep. So they're squeezing that in. Yep, sure is. All right. Well, that is our big indie wrestling shows for the weekend. If you guys are ready to hop
How about
in.
that? How about that hour-long match between Yuta and Garcia?
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up, man, because we had to, it was the 100th defense of the title. Did you watch that whole match, Adam? I kept thinking.
I did. Hour-long matches are not my thing, but man,
same. Me and Primo,
I'm ready to rewatch it.
5 games of pool and played like 18 games of ping pong.
We were like, we watched it, but we were able to do so many activities while we were doing it.
Look at the other 2 members getting to have fun while stupid old AJ is sitting at work.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it was pretty awesome, man. Pretty good card there too. I missed Orange and Chris Statlander. They were on the card, right?
Yep, they did a tag. Who were they going against? Trish and I forget now.
Yeah.
And since we just didn't say it, but that Garcia Yuta match ended up going to a time expiration at 60 minutes.
Yep.
That was the finish.
1 hour long time limit. So
that finish stretch was.
They looked exhausted. Which I mean, who wouldn't be?
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
I was kind of tired watching them.
So I'm glad you brought that up because now the rumblings are starting of having AC Mack versus Wheeler because they want to get that title on AC so they can have IWTV defenses in action. So they're trying to drum that up a little bit on Twitter. I've seen that lately. So
which would be cool.
Hope they do that in the South, man.
I know, right? Yeah, for sure. All right, AJ, if you're ready, man. AEW Dynamite last Wednesday. Let's get it.
AEW Dynamite homecoming show. Fittingly enough,
Daily
so
Slate.
the kickoff to this show could have been a main event at any of their pay-per-views ever. It was the third labor of Jericho versus Juventud Guerrero, and the stipulation is that he has to.
Hoovy juice.
Hoovy.
All right, I'm under control. I'm fine. Anyways, Chris Jericho has to hit a move off the top rope to win the match. So MJF is on commentary too. He is amazing for it. The storyline of the match is Jericho is still just battered, and he looked like a battered old man after his match with Nick Gage last week. And so he was like all bandaged up, and he had like at one point the bandages came off his face, and he had like cuts all over the place from the Domino's pizza cutter. So Jericho keeps trying to.
It was just a pizza cutter. It wasn't a Domino's pizza cutter.
Yeah, I added that in there. The Domino's sponsored pizza cutter.
I noticed that Papa John's they don't care. They're still throwing their commercials in there.
Oh yeah, they don't care at all. I bet they would have been fine with having that spot during the pizza cutter incident. So Chris Jericho hits a frog splash off the top rope for 2. And it's like, even though there's no drama in this match whatsoever, everyone knew that Jericho was going to win, obviously. But it was still really, really cool to see Juventud Guerrero back. And
yeah, it was a little rocky start to this match.
He was a bit botchy.
Yeah.
Juven Botch Guerrero a little bit.
Yeah,
they picked it up though. I mean,
that Hurricane Rana, he had to do it twice.
He missed it. Jericho went back and just stared at the turnbuckle like this.
he's like,
Juvy's back here.
You can tell he's like, Juvi, get up so we can do it again.
So after that, Jericho, like, he comes off the top rope and puts him in a Walls of Jericho. Would that have counted as a top rope maneuver?
Yes.
That's what I was thinking.
He did it from the turnbuckle. Yeah,
it counts.
And I know we talked. We talked about this in person, but I said because Jericho is the one who unmasked Juvi in WCW, so he should have came out with the old mask hanging around his neck,
like a trophy from the Vietnam era or something.
Yeah. That would have been dope.
Which he does try and get the mask off again.
Right.
Jericho goes for the match, which was a nice callback. What else happens? MJF calls Nick Gage an idiot. That's brave.
Ooh.
Jericho hits.
I was going to say, did you see the big wrestling Twitter pointed out that Jim Ross said that MJF was a monster among men?
Yes. He said that he was a monster. No.
Come on. I'm like, please, God. But come on.
I love Braun, but
is AEW gonna get these hands?
No, please stay off of my AEW, Braun Strowman. I love you. Go to the Indies. Where were we? Oh, a double axe handle for 2. Love that he even tried to go for a pin after a double axe handle. Not used effectively since Demolition back in 1944 or whenever Demolition was a thing.
Bring that back. Along with the back rake. We got
the back. We were talking about the back rake.
Yeah. Wrestling moves that need to be brought back.
Yes, the shoelace to the eye. I like that one too. That doesn't. Where's Arn Anderson? He did all this stuff. What else happened? Oh, Walls of Jericho from the top rope. Hoovy driver, but again, no drama. Everyone knew that Jericho was going to kick out of the Hoovy driver. And finally, first, Jericho hits one Judas effect, realizes that he has to hit it off the top rope, jumps up, goes to the top rope, hits it, 1, 2, 3, awesome.
It was like a super Judas effect.
It was a super.
And I like how MJF was like, because every time Hoovy would pin Jericho, MJF was like, Aubrey, you're so stupid.
Yeah, he called her a floozy. He's like, Aubrey Edwards is such a floozy.
And then whenever she denied Jericho's pin, he was like, you're doing something right finally.
All of her slow counts and fast counts. MJF is fantastic on commentary.
Oh man, he's good anywhere.
His so Jericho's next labor of Jericho is against Wardlow with MJF as a special guest referee. I'm interested. Like, how is that even going to work?
So I was looking into that. I was thinking back on it. He said he was going to be there to make sure things are called down the line or called fairly. So is he the special guest referee or is he like a special enforcer?
I think it was referee, but at least that's what I got out of it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
I was just assuming he was just going to be at ringside and just interfere.
Me too.
Yeah,
Which I gotta be honest.
Like,
go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's okay. I was just gonna say he's just saying that he's got to beat Wardlow with him ringside.
Well, here's what I was. Yeah, so I was gonna say the first labor was let's revisit that. First labor was against the chairman, and only he could use the chair.
Oh, yep.
Second was against Nick Gage in a death match.
Yep.
Third was against Hoovy, and he had to do the top rope finish.
Yep.
Fourth match is just against Wardlow, which is kind of it's kind of boring, to be honest.
Wardlow with MJF there.
I don't like. Okay. You spoiled me with these cool matches, and then you give me Wardlow.
So now you're not on board.
No, the Laborers of Jericho is probably still one of my favorite storylines in wrestling right now.
Yeah,
but
I'm a big fan of it.
Another thing me and Dirty talked about is MJF the fifth labor, or is it after 5?
It's he has to pass 5 and then get to
so
MJF.
that'll be all out.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it'll be all. He'll do one more one more the week after next, and then.
Adam, you going all out, man? You going to anything?
No, I got no all out ticket. I do have a ticket to the Chicago. What's the new show where Punk's
Rampage?
Rampage.
Yeah.
I got the first dance.
Yes, I have a ticket to that.
That's gonna be awesome because I still want to try and get a ticket to that.
Oh,
if
the Sears Center in Elgin, is that the Sears Center? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Elgin, Texas?
No, never in Texas. No one goes to Texas voluntarily.
If you're gonna play in Texas, you gotta have a fiddle in the band.
It's not even that big there anyway.
Or a jug. Now I just want to start my own jug band.
All right.
Back to AEW.
Who gave us a
like a jug? I gave you credit, but it sounded nothing like a jug.
What are you talking about? That sounds exactly like a jug.
It's very Willy Wonka.
I can totally lead in the jug band.
It is.
You guys ready for my jug solo? You guys are crazy. That's jug right there.
A leader in the jug band is the singer.
I mean lead jug.
Lead jug player.
Lead jug.
Not the rhythm jug, but
you have the lead jugs.
I'm under control. I'm fine.
All right, moving on. AEW.
So real quick, I want to talk about since we talked about Daniel Garcia so much. This was fantastic. Yeah. Daniel Garcia in 2.0 call out Darby Allin, Eddie Kingston.
You want a piece of me?
Oh my God, and Moxley.
I love those guys.
It was fantastic. These 3 rookies call out the 3 biggest stars arguably in all of AEW.
You want a piece of me?
And like 2.0 at one point, I can't remember which one it was, but absolutely marks out when he comes face to face with Sting.
It's the one with the long hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
He turns into like a kid.
You gotta learn their names now. I actually care because I think
you're the real
funny.
Sting.
I was ticked when they got released from NXT.
They were Ever Rise, yeah.
They were
getting funny to me, man. It was great. I love it.
My favorite. Go ahead. I was gonna say my favorite part of that match was the end whenever Moxley and Kingston mark out the fact that Sting's in the ring with him.
Yep. They did. They
all right. Yeah. Did Eddie was funny. Like, he's like,
you see this?
Yeah.
Like Darby Allin was just sitting in the corner, like, yeah, this is all.
He's like, he's my homie. We hang out every day.
Yeah.
I was laughing too. Eddie was going, me in a ring with Sting? Like he was like, me and Sting? Like, oh man.
And all that. So in that speaking of Daniel Garcia, that match was before all the rest of his weekend.
Yep. This is last Wednesday, so this started off his entire weekend. Man, good for him. Like obviously, these 3 got absolutely squashed, and at one point they all hit their
best way.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it. Good for these 3, Darby, Eddie, and Moxley for going out there with these 3 rookies and having a match with them.
They took their shot.
Yeah, they really did.
Yeah, by the way, too, shout out, man. I love AEW Dark, everything that has to do with that.
Yep,
I love it. That guys aren't, that aren't on TV or getting to wrestle, and we can still watch it. And they're all, they're putting on A lot of people putting on great matches. To me, it feels like there ain't a bunch of guys sitting, back in the locker room, not
like
doing
nothing.
I mean? Yeah, and they advertise who versus who. So it's like if you want to go see a certain wrestler, he might not be on, but if you're looking to see a certain wrestler, you can tune in to catch them. I love that part about it. The advertisement, the idea of it, is great. So I mean, I'm assuming they're going to tour if we get there.
I have heard that it's not in the books yet, but I imagine that they will.
Yeah, if it is in the books, they're probably pausing. Anyway.
Also, I mean, plus, like, what I like about it is it's not like, Jeff Hardy on main event. It's an actual. You're welcome, Primo. That was just for you. Because remember, Jeff Hardy was on main event, and
he got beat by Veer.
Yeah, yes.
Veer was the one that beat him.
Got beat bad.
Yeah. Has he woke up yet from getting choked out?
I don't think so. I think he's still
asleep. Okay. Oh, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. You know what? We will get to that. I was gonna be nice to Cross tonight, but we'll get to that.
Oh, I'm not gonna be nice to Cross. I'm not on board.
Go ahead.
There that is again. Okay, so before I get to the main event of AEW, I want to go through the rest real fast. Promo with the Lucha Bros and Andrade, which is fine. Promo with the group of which we are now a member, or we are now members, Dark Order. And Adam Page apologizes and basically is like, I'm going to go on my own. See you guys later. But it's like one of those like amicable splits. It's not like there's any dissension or anything. They're just like, all right, we're going to go this way. I'm going to go that way, and cool. There's a video package with Brian Cage. I don't care, but Ricky Starks is great.
Yeah.
I hate him so much. It's fantastic.
Oh, I'll do like Ricky.
Yeah, you got to look at
yeah, there it is. Christian Cage versus the Blade. Fine.
Where's the Butcher been? Is the Butcher hurt?
Play music? I don't know.
Okay. He might be touring if they are.
Started his own junk band. At one point backstage, the Elite plays basketball, and Carl Anderson is really good at doing that. The ball spinning.
They're like 1, 2.
I was surprised by that.
And then really good. And then to show off, he stopped, started talking, and then we did it again.
Yeah. I was laughing while talking though.
I was laughing at Nick gawking the camera behind the basket.
Whenever they was cutting it, he was like, I forgot what the sound he was making.
They still keep telling Brandon Cutler to shut up.
He started talking. They were like,
shut up, Brandon. Great. Love it.
Oh, that's so good.
Really cool promo with FTR and Santana and Ortiz. I like their whole storyline. Like, I love... And to be honest with you, I like their video packages and segments more than their actual anything that they will do in the ring. I just think they're so well written and so well put together. So I'm a big fan of that. Promo with Britt Baker. She is so over. They're not going to be able to keep her heel.
I know. Yeah,
they're not going to.
She's getting big pops.
Too popular. Segment with Hangman and the Elite. Elite beat him up. Blah, blah, blah. Miro versus Lee Johnson. Miro is so awesome.
He's God's favorite champion.
He is. And he has a hot wife who is also flexible.
Very flexible.
And then next week, or today, because this was last Wednesday, we got a tease for my boy, Dan Lambert. Yes, he's coming back. And he's bringing back up. Can't wait to see who that's going to be.
Bringing some American Top Team with him, huh?
Yes. And then NWA Women's Championship Eliminator match. Layla Hirsch. She built like a brick poo house.
Say it.
Poop house. She built she is like a brick shit house. She is just solid. She's like this tall. Like those of you listening, I'm doing a thing with my hands.
Yep.
That tall and just solid muscle.
Legit Layla?
Yes, legit Layla. Yes, Primo, you had a question? Your hand is up.
I just wanted to quickly, not to break your heart, AJ, But unfortunately, the news broke earlier today, as of 4 hours ago, that Dan Lambert's AEW Dynamite appearance has been pushed back 1 week.
Wah, wah, wah. Sorry. Yeah. Well, AJ is going to retire for the rest of the night.
You guys enjoy the rest of the show.
Dan isn't going to be on tonight.
I'm going to go write sad poetry.
Where did Camille come out here?
At the end.
She came out after the match with the bunny and legit
man,
and that she is legitimately
so tall.
She is 4 feet taller than Layla Hirsch.
She looks like she's 4 feet taller than me.
Right. Okay.
She probably is.
I mean, immediately I thought Camille versus Jade Cargill. That's the money, right? That's the money, right?
No.
Beaks, big.
All Jade.
So emphatically.
my last note here is
no.
Because so bored with Jade Cargill stuff. I am so sick of her little backstage segments.
And their Robert Stone ripoff.
Yeah, I'm like either wrestle or
bored
don't.
with them. They're only like 45 seconds long.
Exactly. That tells you how boring I find them to be.
All right.
Awful. Just do something. Do something, Jade Cargill. I don't want to see any more of this.
It's coming.
Good. Okay. Now on to the main event, which was Malachi Black versus Cody Rhodes. Light versus dark match.
Light versus dark. We talked about this for weeks on our podcast, and they finally acknowledged it on the show.
Yes, they did. They're like, okay.
They were listening to our podcast. You're welcome.
The bookers for AEW were like Dean Malenko and Arn Anderson got together and like, did you hear that? Okay, we need to acknowledge this.
Primo, Dirty, and AJ, they were talking about how they were wearing black and white suits.
Weeks ago.
Yeah.
Weeks ago. We called it. The crowd is absolutely rabid for this match. Like, it's the biggest pop that I've heard since crowds came back was for this match. And Black hits all of his, kicks and knees and sweeps. And
I liked his entrance.
His entrance. Oh, yeah. I completely
went over his entrance or whatever.
It is awesome. I like it so much better than his WWE entrance where he does that weird, rise thing. Like,
I like that. I thought it was cool.
I liked it, too. It was different. It kind of reminded me like Brood-ish.
Yeah, the candles and all that.
That's why I didn't like it, was because it was Brood-ish.
And then you could hear it after a while. They had the noise. It was like...
Yeah, it was like they forgot to put WD-40 on the little mechanism.
WWE and sound effects.
This was a good match, man. This was Malachi's big match to date. Can we just call him Tommy End?
Yes, please. I hate Malachi Black.
Yeah,
I know, Adam. Right? Like he's.
Yeah, I struggle with it.
Yeah.
So no. After the match, I'll talk about something else. But go ahead.
But it was a squash match. Like Cody, every time he tried to get in a little bit of offense, Tommy End was having none of it, and it was I don't think he got a single move in. Cody Rhodes did on Malachi Black, so it was an absolute squash. Black looked like a world beater. Like I can't wait to see what
it really wasn't all that long.
No, it was 2 minutes maybe.
Yep. After he pushed him off the turnbuckle into the table, that's basically it until he hit him with Black Mass.
Yep, and that was it. 1, 2, 3. His cocky, I'm just going to put my foot on him kind of pin.
Yep.
And
which you don't see people of his size do.
No, you do not. Normally, that's a get these hands kind of pin. I don't want to talk about get these hands.
Like an almost or almost, some people call them. We call them almost on this show.
Almost. This is actually
Cody's big, kind of going away speech. He's stepping to the side for a while.
Yep.
There's a lot of things going, a lot of rumors. The TV time is getting slim for a lot of guys. So so he's stepping out of the roster, going to be behind the scenes. He'll probably come back later for a big baby face push pop. Put somebody over. But he's
he acknowledged it too. He was like, it's time for some new faces at the table. And I've been on TV since this started. And he essentially was saying, no one wants to see me anymore. I could put myself over all I want, but this company is about putting over the new people.
Which, he said that his face was on everything since the inception.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Adam, what do you love about AEW right now, man? What's your favorite things about it?
The good faith. For me right now, it's the good faith. I feel like if there's something on TV and I don't like it, that it's going to be for a reason, and I can trust them. I'm not getting jerked around. And even what we were just talking about with Cody, it's seeing the writing on the wall, new people coming in, screen time, like you said, and it's weird to see people not be selfish in big spotlight wrestling. So that's pretty cool.
I always say that's how you can really tell when somebody loves wrestling.
And also, I know it's not a surprise, but he blatantly said, "We are in competition."
Yes, in competition. We're not an alternative. We're competition. Yeah, that's a great line.
It's going to be interesting when Rampage goes up against SmackDown.
Yes.
On Fridays night.
I think I was just reading this thing about because Tony Khan was on Busted Open. You're welcome. We just shouted out your podcast. Anyway, that's basically the First Dance is one of the most anticipated weekly episodic shows in forever.
I agree.
Yeah. I know I've cleared my whole slot.
That Friday, I am watching it live. I'm not going to be behind.
Yes. That's live on the couch.
Yeah. But what I was going to say earlier when we were talking about Malachi Black, when y'all were talking about his name, well, if you ever watched the build-up promos to that, when he revealed his name was Malachi Black, it was like a psych ward type or prison psych ward type situation. Anyway, back home we just call it the loony bin. But Buddy Murphy, aka Matt, whatever you want to call him, just released a promo a couple days ago in the same facility with the same doctor.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then also in Malachi Black or Tommy Inn's promos, he mentions him. Talks about how he damaged his eye.
Yeah. I wonder where that's leading.
Oh, well. All right. Anything else, AJ, for AEW? No botch.
No botch that time.
That's how you do it, Ace Austin.
That is, so show goes off with Malachi Black beating the crap out of Cody Rhodes with his crutch, mega heat. Yeah. Wonderful. I look forward to everything.
That was the funniest thing, though.
He goes to drop his boots, and then Malachi comes back with a chair.
And hucks his boot out of the ring. He's like, nah.
The funny thing was...
You not return.
Yeah, no, get out of here.
Whether, Cody was still on his knee, right? So, and they gave him that crutch, but the crutch was for... teeny, like small people.
It was a tiny child crutch.
Yeah,
it was a crutch for Primo or AJ probably.
Not
normal sized people. Yeah. And did you see it? He kind of gradually kind of walked and put it up against the turnbuckle, and he kind of laughed at it too.
And I like how he kept trying to tell Shivani just go on.
Yeah,
it's go on. Yeah.
Just go.
All right, well, should be fun tonight. All right, let's hop over now to Impact Wrestling with me here last Thursday, August the 5th. Let's get to it. Opener was Finn Juice versus Switchblade and Chris Bay. Now, Chris Bay pins Juice Robinson, and as the show went last week, Jay White has emerged trying to get Chris Bay to join the Bullet Club. Well, after this match, they walk up to the top of the ramp. Chris Bay officially pulls out his Bullet Club shirt, and he is now a Bullet Club member. So,
King Switch.
So probably be seeing Chris Bay over in Japan sooner or later. And speaking of Japan, right after that, they announced or reminded that Resurgence from New Japan Pro Wrestling is coming up August the 14th. So that is this weekend. So got that one coming up. All right, next up, the Drama King. I keep forgetting his name.
Rewalt. Matt Rewalt.
Matt Rewalt.
Matt Rewalt used to be in
Aiden English.
Vaudevillains. Yep, Aiden English used to be the Vaudevillains. Anyway, he shows up to introduce Deonna Purrazzo, as this is kind of their coronation after winning the King and Queen tournament that was on Impact Plus, where basically nothing happens. But anyway, so
it's true though.
I mean,
true.
yeah.
It's like I dedicated time to watching. Nothing happens. So anyway, but, that's why I can put a synopsis on it and bring it to you. So yeah, this was kind of their coronation. Mickey James interrupts, and she brings out Melina from Eminem in the WWE, most recently in NWA. So she is now in Impact Wrestling, and she is going to wrestle Deonna Purrazzo at the NWA
Empower
pay-per-view Empower. Yep, August the 28th in Seattle, St. Louis, as part of NWA weekend. So next match, Trey Miguel versus Daivari versus Rohit Raju versus Jake. What's my name?
Something.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Guess what?
It was so fun doing that in person, by the way.
It really was.
How big is you guys got an idea of how big
That's
that
a big
is?
son of a gun. He stood right next to me. He's a big dude.
Yeah. Big fella.
Yeah. All right, and let's talk about too. I've never noticed. Adam, maybe you have. The boys noticed some kind of Dragon Ball Z tattoo on him. I never noticed it.
Oh, that made me a bigger fan of you, Jake, by the way.
Me too.
It's up under his right thigh pad.
Yep, on his quad he has Goku and Shenron.
Yes, he does. And it was awesome.
I didn't know anything. I've seen a tattoo. I just
read a book, nerd.
Like it was. That ain't reading a book. Dragon Ball Z.
Dirty just looked down on us like nerd.
We disappointed.
I looked at you like I don't understand because I'm too old.
we didn't say it. You said that.
Yes.
All right. So back to my man.
Insured shake and
my name. What's my name? My man Jake wins, and he is now the #1 contender to the X Division title, which means he's going to wrestle Josh Alexander. And
so strange.
That is so weird.
So weird. Such a big guy going after the X Division.
Yeah. But X Division.
I know it's not always been small dudes like Samoa Joe's had it.
Yeah, that's right. Homicide has had it.
Yeah. That was kind of early, kind of the way they wanted to picture the belt. But yeah, it's like I said, it's kind of their IC belt. Is basically the way they look at it. So anyway, they announced Emergence August the 20th, which is going to be on Impact Plus.
Poor Emergence.
Yeah, and then next up, a couple matches. Jordan and Rachel Ellering, Jordan Grace, Rachel Ellering beat Fire and Flavor. They got these new gear, so Jordan and Rachel are officially a tag team now. Fire and Flavor, they're kind of looking like they might break up here a little bit. They're eyeing each other down. It's your fault. Blah, blah, blah. Next match, Good Brothers, Violent by Design, and Willie Mack versus Willie Mack and Rich Swann has been announced as a 3-way match for Emergence winner.
Thruple
For the tag titles that is currently on the Good Brothers.
Who?
All right. The Bud Brothers, the Good Brothers.
The old Bud Brothers.
All right, so here's something cool, guys. Next to last match, Macklin wrestles Frontman Ja, who we saw wrestle
Saturday night.
At AAW. So it was a good match. It was a squash. Macklin pinned him, picked him up. He kept doing the King Kong Bundy is what I call it.
Macklin has a weird hairline.
Yep. And then
what's wrong with hairlines, Primo?
I have one and you don't.
So Macklin's beating up Frontman Ja. Petey Williams comes out and kind of runs Macklin off a little bit. So that's kind of going to be their I think Macklin's first feud, I think. So all right, so we're getting to the main event of the night. Sami Callihan, Eddie Kingston, and the Elite Hunter Kazarian versus Good Brother and Omega. Basic shenanigans, a lot of stuff going on inside the ring. And basically this kind of ended up setting up a match for later, but Eddie wins with the Boston Knee Party on Carl Anderson. And then after the end of the match, Morrissey attacks Eddie, which he didn't have anything to do with the match, but Morrissey attacks Eddie, and then that's kind of the way that the show goes off, which is kind of playing to Morrissey attacked Eddie in their last pay-per-view that they had. So, but that is basically what happened in Impact. Not a whole lot. Like I said, they just basically talked about that tag team match that's going to be next week. So, all right, Primo. Well, real quick here first before we get started, we talked about briefly before the show started. Ring of Honor, Adam mentioned it too. Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view September 12th has been moved out of Florida. They are moving now to the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia due to COVID cases rising up.
I didn't realize it was announced.
Yep.
Earlier this morning, it hadn't been announced yet. Yeah.
Yep. And then my other, to the 2300 Arena.
Is that closed to no fans?
I don't know what their local regulations are.
I really hope not. But I mean, I get it, but still.
Yeah. I think as of now, it's still with fans.
Okay.
Is it? Okay.
But we're barreling down that road right now.
Yeah. All right, and then last thing I want to say here on the Indies, St. Louis Anarchy announced September 24th. The card is called Wartime, and the match announced first was Daniel Makabe versus Jeremy Wyatt. Man, Adam, what about that, man? Woo-wee.
Yeah, man. I think we need to do that.
Yeah, I think so too, man. So that's going down September 24th in St. Louis Anarchy. Have they announced a venue for there?
I think they bought that venue that they ran their return show in.
Sure.
So I think everything is there.
Oh, dope. Nice. All right, awesome. All right, Primo, if you're ready, man, let's run down SmackDown, Raw, and NXT here before we get to Dropkick discussion. First off, last Friday, SmackDown. Here we go.
Let me talk to you.
Boom.
Smacking it down, baby. On SmackDown, our show opener was the Boss Time. She came out, basically opened up and said that exist without her, she'd be nothing. Mania main event without her. There wouldn't be any ESPY awards without Sasha. And this causes Bianca to come out and interrupt her and tells her that if she wants the title so bad, then she can come get it. And as they're going back and forth, Zelina Vega comes out and she's like, hey, hold up. You just told me last week that I could have a shot. So then basically Bianca realizes she has to decide now because she just told two people they can have a title shot. And so she says, all right, Sasha, you get a chance at SummerSlam, and which means she's clearly confident because then she tells Zelina that she can have a chance tonight on SmackDown. So she's like, clearly I'm not going to lose to you, so I'm just going to go ahead and schedule my SummerSlam match. So that moves on, and she takes on Zelina Vega, and she does defeat her to retain her championship.
Poor Zelina Vega. Just hanging around for no reason.
Zelina just makes her return like 3 weeks ago, and then she just gets crapped on every week.
Yeah, just loses over and over again.
Yeah. The Jey Uso defeats Dominic Mysterio.
Yay!
Yep. So Edge says Rollins isn't here, but if he were here, it wouldn't end well for him. He calls him a bad name, but I'm not going to say it on this podcast.
A turd.
Yeah, a turd. He said their issues basically go way back whenever Rollins did not finish the job when he had his boot on Edge's neck years ago. And Rollins costing Edge the title is basically exactly what Edge would have done in his time, you know.
Also,
so basically, they're talking about how like there's a lot of similarities between the two, and Rollins ends up appearing via satellite on the Tron, and tells Edge that he should have known he needed a plan B. Edge challenges Rollins to a match at SummerSlam, Rollins is like, I think I need to think it over. He doesn't give him a yeah.
Yeah, no. He's like, maybe.
He's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not really feeling it, bro. So Rollins suggests that Edge should think it over too, because he knows what it's like to have his boot on Edge's neck.
Wait, Edge knows what it's like to have Edge's own boot on his neck?
Rollins' boot on his neck.
That makes more sense.
I mean, if he could do that, that'd be interesting.
Like, I thought, like, maybe he...
That's flexibility.
Putting his own boot on his neck.
So, basically, Edge notes that Rollins is obsessed with him because Edge comes out on top every time they clash. He's the one that eliminated Rollins in 2 Royal Rumbles in a row. Rollins gets flustered and ends up accepting Edge's challenge. So now that is official for SummerSlam.
Wait, is that true? Edge eliminated Rollins twice in a row?
I guess so. He said so. I believe him.
You believe everything that Edge tells you?
His name's Adam.
His name is Adam. Yes.
So
that makes him immediately trustworthy.
We think Adam's a trustworthy.
Adam, what do you think?
Sounds like a sound theory to me, man.
Trust the Adams. Lastly on SmackDown, we had Finn Balor and Baron Corbin facing off. Finn Balor actually defeats Baron Corbin, but then he grabs the mic and says 3 years ago, basically talking about the situation with John Cena stealing his title contract, which I'm still not a fan of.
Nor am I.
That's so silly that John Cena just was able to sign his name on a contract that didn't have his name on it.
No, it had Finn Balor's name on it.
So basically Finn says that 3 years ago he may have just like laid down and taken it, but that's the current Finn is not smiling and he's not going to just, let him be ran over.
Cut to a picture of his Twitter of Finn smiling.
Right.
That's what Finn does.
On the beach.
Yep.
Balor says he wants Reigns, and if he has to go through Cena to do it, name the time and the place, brother.
I would love to see Finn and Cena and have Cena put over Finn. By the way, Adam, I'm a huge Finn mark. You're going to hear me talk a lot about Finn Balor because
me and Dirty watched SmackDown in his basement, and we both did the Finn entrance.
Well, yeah, you have to.
Yeah, you have to. That's what I said.
Yeah, you can't not.
So basically, after Finn's talking about challenge, he would take on Cena anytime, anywhere. Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman interrupted. He's basically, TSR, as Dirty would say, tracksuit Roman.
Tracksuit Roman.
He comes out. Reigns tells Balor, I read that wrong, Balor, that when he steps in the ring, you better keep his name out of his mouth. You know how Roman talks. I let him wear my shirt for a reason.
Yes, he's earned it.
So it's so funny because he throws the mic at Balor to go to leave, and it just bounces off Finn's chest. So Reigns starts to leave the ring, and Finn just pushes him.
Imagine you make that noise.
And then he does, double guns at him. It basically ends up being they end up getting a little scrap, and ends. Yeah, it ends with Reigns putting the guillotine on Balor, and that's how
Balor passing out, right?
Yeah, and then that's how we end SmackDown. Smackity down. Moving on, we had Monday Night Raw. I'm gonna try to breeze through this as fast as possible, but basically, let's go back to the main storyline here. Kicked off Monday Night Raw with the return of the Viper.
I for once when that happened, I was like, all right, Raw might be interesting, and it was to an extent.
Yeah, so he came out, and he said, obviously, when he came to the ring, he was getting a huge pop from the crowd. He said, I guess I'm supposed to welcome everybody to Monday Night Raw. So he did that, and then before he could talk any more about where he's been, Matt Riddle had to be a bro and come interrupt him. I really don't like when they do that. I wanted to hear what Randy had. I like Matt, but yes. I wanted to hear Randy finish.
Yes.
Anyway, he comes out. He's like, bro, I missed you so much, Randy.
Like a 12-year-old.
Yeah, he's like, I missed you so much, bro. He's like, this is like that one time, like when my stepdad left to go get milk and he never came back, bro. But you came back.
That's so sad.
And basically, he's like, so we could be a team again. And Randy's like, what makes you think I came back here to be partners with you?
Aww.
Breaks Riddle's heart. He's like, you can't be serious, bro. And Randy's like, I am serious. We're not RK Bro anymore, even though he's wearing the RK Bro zip up hoodie.
Yeah, I don't know if he knew that.
He thought it was just an RKO one.
Yeah, he just got confused. His old man eyes got tired, and
yeah, he's sporting the Musketeer look. He came out like D'Artagnan again with the mustache and goatee.
The rogue.
Going on.
Yeah.
Rogue Randy.
So AJ Styles comes out. He's like, "Oh man, we tried to break all your scooters, Riddle, but if we known that breaking your heart was going to be as easy as telling you that Randy wasn't going to be your friend anymore, we would have done that a long time ago."
So sad.
Yeah.
Heartstrings.
Yeah. So moving forward, it comes down to the fact that Randy Orton's going to end up having a match with Omos almost. But later on, Orton's walking backstage. Riddle tries to come up to him. He's like, he's like, we don't have to be teammates, Randy, but we can still be friends, bro.
I love how you say Randy.
He's like, but Randy doesn't answer. And Riddle says, bro, you can't be serious. And then Orton says, I am serious. And don't call me bro.
Yeah.
Ouch, Randy.
Heartbreaking.
Felt like when
Randy.
Randy, it was like every conversation I ever had with every girl I broke up with.
It's not me.
It's you.
Yeah.
Later on, I did like this. This was hilarious. So Riddle was getting interviewed later on again. And he's like, Randy came back, but now he said he doesn't even want to be partners. He says, you know what? I'll let Randy do Randy. He's got to do what he's got to do.
Randy.
But a stallion's got to do what a stallion's got to do, and stallions ride. Basically, because he tells him he wants to at least support him for the match against Almost, and he tells him don't come out there.
And it's funny, man, like after seeing Riddle wrestle so much on the indies, and we went and seen him when he was Evolve champion, it's funny to see him in this role.
Yeah, and it's really how he talks.
It is.
Yeah, like, is it really? Like, that's his actual...
Yeah, like when Eric referenced the gimmick hotel earlier, when Riddle was at SCI 2 years in a row, and man, dude was at poolside all day, every day, just hanging out with everybody.
That's cool.
That is exactly who he is.
Like his character on screen is just him dialed up slightly.
I don't know about that. I think it seems pretty accurate.
Like it's actually him dialed down a little bit.
Yeah.
So during the match, Almost and Randy Orton have, AJ. I've been saying Almost the whole time, but AJ, you had a match with Randy Orton, at one point in the match, Riddle does come out, and even though Randy told him not to, and he attacks Omos so that way he could be distracted for 5 seconds, so Randy can hit AJ with the 3 deadliest letters in the WWE. Basically, he comes off a phenomenal forearm RKO out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton wins. After the match, Randy and Riddle are posing. And I'll say that. Randy's mad. He goes to leave the ring, and he's like, wait, Randy, wait, come back. We got to give the people what they want. And then he comes back. He's like, hold his arms out for a hug, like it's Team Hell No. And Randy comes in, and they hug it out, and then he's holding his hand up in celebration. And then Randy's like, well, yeah, let's do this side too. Let's do this side. So they turn and they go to the side opposite the stage. And Randy hits him with an RKO and lays him out.
But
never trust the Viper.
Nope.
What did he do afterwards?
And then afterwards, he he was smiling the whole time, and then he moves his hair out of his face, and I think it's funny because Riddle was smiling as he was laying there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, my best friend he's just giving me some tough love, bro.
He did though. He ruffled his hair, and he's like, all right, kid, they're just having some fun. And
yeah, basically, it's just, we're not sure. We think that, I think that was meant to show us that Randy wasn't serious. He was just teaching Riddle a little lesson there. Like
he can't help himself.
Yeah, when I tell you don't come out, but we're still friends, kind of. I'm gonna just touch on a few other things. Let's real quick. Jeff Hardy is healthy and healed from his stint of COVID. Congrats, Jeff. Welcome back. Unfortunately, the WWE has decided to throw Karrion Kross a bone, and they let him beat you. So it's unfortunate. We'll get him next week. All right, kid. So
bet he don't.
I bet
he don't.
He beat him first. That's what matters.
Yeah, we'll let you have that one.
Yeah.
Oh man, they're finally letting Karrion just get a little. Every squirrel finds a nut,
Karrion ain't no squirrel. He got plans.
Yeah, he'll get cut in
if he changes his gimmick.
That's possible too. Yes.
He might.
Yeah.
Right
no more possible. Spartan.
No more Sparty.
But
Sparty.
That's just one last thing. Two things actually, but it was the usual almighty speech with MVP and we're gonna destroy you, blah blah blah. Okay, Gage, tell your dad not to come. We're gonna destroy him. All right, we get it, which is cool. Obviously, I'm all for it. Almighty Bobby Lashley retaining. We know. I mean, Goldberg better not even get close to the title.
He's going to.
We all love Goldberg. We've talked about this. We all love Goldberg. There's a time
when we were kids.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe 20 years ago.
Or in Eric's case, when he was
in his mid-30s.
Yeah, when he was 44.
No finger.
Last thing I want to talk about on Raw. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but there was a small vignette with Elias. Did y'all see this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's walking in a field at night with his guitar. He looks at it. He does one little strum. He says that one time WWE stood for Walk with Elias, but Elias is dead, brother.
So what are they going to do with him now?
They're going to repackage him. What do you think?
No burger. I said that a couple weeks ago, didn't I? I said he's shredded.
Railroad conductor.
And if he just didn't do the guitar gimmick, he could be a main eventer.
He's going to be a railroad.
He could, if I felt like this entire time with his drifter guitar gimmick, he's always felt like a mid-card talent.
Oh yeah, comedy.
But if he does the right thing, because he looks like $1 million, he's shredded.
Sure. Yeah, he does.
He could go and be a main eventer.
I don't see a gimmick that they can put on him though that will.
He just comes back and he just destroys Jackson Rikers.
It's got to be a good one because hey, Bray come back from Husky Harris. Anybody can come back from a gimmick.
But I liked the Elias gimmick. I liked it the entire time. Yeah, not the entire time.
I like the fact that I knew that when he was about to play, somebody was going to interrupt him.
Every time.
Yes. But he was one of the few guitar gimmicks that could actually play.
Yes. I mean,
it got over. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
And everybody chanted Walk with Elias.
Yeah.
Yes, he got that over too.
Yep.
Moving on, we got NXT. NXT opens up with Dakota Kai talking about how she's going to beat Raquel. She hopes Raquel's watching because what she's about to do to Saray. She ends up beating Saray.
She did.
Clean. Which, honestly, they haven't done anything. They brought her in, and that's about it so far they've done with Saray. Besides keeping her undefeated up to this point, she's been pretty quiet.
They cut everybody else. Someone's
got to win.
Yeah. So anyway, Dakota goes over, but then she starts to attack Saray even more after the match. Raquel comes out and chases off Dakota, calls Dakota Chica a bunch of times.
She did.
And basically they hype up their match for TakeOver 36. Backstage, you got Hit Row. They're hanging around a fire barrel.
Hit Row.
You got Top Dollar.
I hate this gimmick so much.
I actually like them. I do like them when they aren't being dumb.
It means they're doing their job, AJ. If you hate them, they're doing their job.
I like Swerve Scott.
They have go away heat for me.
I like Swerve Scott and I like Top Dollar, but
me and Adam have to like Swerve. We paid to see him wrestle about 100 times on the
internet. Yeah. So basically, they talk about how Swerve's grill was stolen by Legado del Fantasma, and how that's disrespectful in their culture. So then they pull out a lucha mask and they throw it in the fire, which is super disrespectful.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Talk about heat.
Not if it's like a lucha mask you just like bought at Party City.
Yeah, not if it's like a kid's Rey Mysterio mask.
Yeah.
That you can, on the LA Knight situation with Cameron Grimes.
Whose game
it is not LA Knight. It's Primo's game, baby. LA Knight. Sorry, I didn't do it correctly.
There you go.
He's the $1 million champ. Anyway, it's back and forth between them, and DiBiase convinces them to put the title on the line one more time against Grimes at TakeOver 36. But if LA Knight wins again, DiBiase has to also become a butler.
How does The Rock not sue LA Knight every time he talks on the microphone?
You say this all the time.
He sounds
Eli Drake.
It's the gestures. It's the gestures. You know,
it's the cadence.
The cadence, yeah. The cadence and the tone.
It's similar. Yeah.
Let me talk to you.
I like LA Knight, and I think he's a really good talker. And I like. Actually, I just like LA Knight, but it's every time he talks.
What LA Knight's cooking? He says that all the time.
Yeah, every time yes. Don't laugh at LA Knight's jokes.
Oh man! So Odyssey Jones was faced off against Trey Baxter in the semifinals of the Breakout Tournament. Odyssey Jones.
Adam, what was Trey Baxter's name on the Indies? Christian.
Blake Christian.
Thank you. I couldn't remember that. Blake Christian.
And Odyssey Jones ends up going over it and moving on to the final. Yep. His opponent will be decided between Carmelo Hayes and Duke Hudson.
Duke.
Yeah. Sorry, champ.
Duke wins the tournament. Odyssey still gets over. Duke needs the win.
Say Odyssey's getting over pretty big.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He needs the tournament win, so give it to Duke. That's how right
there.
We had
Babyface loses.
Ilya Dragunov makes an appearance to promote his match against Walter at for the NXT UK Championship at NXT TakeOver 36. How about Dragunov?
Yeah,
the tree trunk for legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus, he does.
Yeah. I haven't got to see him wrestle too much, so I was, pretty excited to see him wrestle here. I'm glad they're putting that on TakeOver. This smells like a title change to me.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, yeah. I had to say that. I agree. Also, that I like how Pete Dunne comes out and he's like, all I gotta say is you're welcome. Basically, you wouldn't be there.
I did all this.
Yeah, I carried all that on my back.
Yeah,
and that's what led to them having a match. And they did have a match. Walter comes out, and Walter returns to the States also, and interrupts that match and causes Ilya to lose to Pete Dunne ahead of their matchup. But after the fact, they basically have a little squab. He hits him with Torpedo Moscow. That's his move.
That's what it's called, Torpedo Moscow?
Yep, and knocks him to the outside and then takes and holds up the NXT UK title. So that is looking like I have to agree, it's looking like a title change.
Because at first I wasn't sure who was supposed to be selling after he hit that. I'm like, which one took the brunt of that, and and which one is the one that's supposed to be hurt?
Everyone got up first was the
And the final thing, we have Adam Cole, baby, versus Cool Kyle Tree. Mm-hmm. So William Regal's in the ring and with like a handful of security, calls out Cole and Cool Kyle. Cole comes out first, followed by Cool Kyle. Adam, if you don't know, we don't call him by his real name. It's Cool Kyle.
Cool Kyle.
Ever since he came out, like air guitaring to whatever when him and Cole faced off that first time.
Cool Kyle.
Anyway, basically it's decided that they're going to have a 2 out of 3 match, 2 out of 3 falls match to finally put an end to this. And they get to choose, they each get to choose a fall, and Regal will choose a third fall. So, like the lame that he is, Cool Kyle chooses a traditional match for the first stipulation.
Loser.
Yeah. I mean,
man, this match is going to be like 4 hours long.
Yeah, because then after that, Adam Cole's like, oh, first of all, I wrote this in my original notes. This is my second notes that I have here on the screen, but my original notes said specifically, Adam Cole, baby, has been listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast because he totally called him Cool Kyle.
He did, yes. I saw that, or I heard that, and I was like,
oh, that's funny.
Awesome.
That's funny. I also liked they put, if needed, steel cage match third fall. Like if needed.
So I was gonna get to that. Cole decided the second fall, and that's going to be a street fight.
Yeah.
So
and then Regal decided a steel cage for the third one, which is always needed. But
so this is just Triple H and Stone Cold and.
I think theirs started off as a street fight though, or was it?
Theirs was wrestling match first, then street fight,
then still. So it's the same.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah, but anyway,
I'm having too much fun with this thing right
so
now.
that was all of NXT. Basically, first fall traditional, second fall street fight, third fall it will be needed. Steel cage.
Yes.
I don't understand. Like, I thought they were gonna go a different route with that because I was trying to guess what Regal was gonna say, and because they went to brawl again. And he's like, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I chose this for you guys as the third fall in a steel cage match. I thought he was going to go with last man standing.
Yeah.
See, I thought so too. That would have been really cool too.
Yeah.
It would have made sense.
Or I quit. One of the two.
Yeah.
That's NXT. That's WWE weekly recap over. Break.
All right. Nice job, boys. All right, it's time to get to kind of the back half of the pod here. We're going to talk about our dropkick discussion of the day today, which is our top 5 favorite wrestlers in the world right now. In the world. That favorite can be you like the way they look, you like the way they dress, you like the way they talk, you like the way they wrestle, you like the storyline, anything that makes you tune in to watching them wrestle on TV is in your top 5. All right, so quick little note. We moved from top 3 to top 5. All right, so no more top 3s, top 5s now. Here's my rule. Everything is top 5, no honorable mentions.
Aha!
Top 5 only. I want to hear your top 5, no honorable mentions. That way we get a solid 5 here. So, for our top 5 favorite wrestlers. So, all right. So we'll start from 5 to 1. This can be any guy, girl, whoever wrestler across the world, from indies to WWE to AEW to New Japan. Anybody that you have here. So,
yeah.
All right. So let's get started. Primo, why don't you start us off with number 5?
Number 5. I definitely took the worldwide to heart in my list here. So worldwide for me, he is currently I don't talk too much about in New Japan, but currently he's the IWGP Heavyweight Champion and the IWGP Intercontinental Champion. That is Kota Ibushi. He's also one of the greatest wrestlers right now.
Dope. Yep. Tons of great matches. How many wars have we seen him in? He's the man
against
over
Omega,
right?
and yeah.
Tons of lots of good runs there.
How long before he shows up at AEW?
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised that happened for now. But all right, Adam, you wanna start off with your number 5?
Absolutely. I kind of went about my list as probably the guys I've searched out most to watch in the last 3 months.
Sure.
So it's kind of what's modern to me, and most all of what I watch is U.S. indie stuff.
Sure.
So my number 5 is Lee Moriarty.
Nice.
The guy is everywhere. I saw him tweet, I think it was this weekend, that it was the past 2 or 3 weekends he had done dates on both coasts, East Coast and West Coast dates on the same weekends for multiple weeks in a row. Tears it up everywhere. Is super creative.
Yeah. Dope wrestler. A lot of people are gonna know who this guy is soon.
Yeah, I don't think he'll this time next year. I don't think he'll be hanging around the indies like a lot of the stuff that I'm watching.
Yeah,
he's not long for the indie world.
Nice. Yep, I totally think the same. Yep, go look him up if you haven't seen him yet. AJ, you want to take off with number 5?
So after you got rid of honorable mentions, which makes sense, I had to cross out my number 5 because I decided that my first honorable mention absolutely should be in the top 5.
Makes you make a choice. Yep.
It does.
A choice.
And this is not because he's a friend of the show. It's number 5 is Daniel Makabe. Mm-hmm. So over this last weekend, I'd watched a few of his matches, but over this last weekend is when I saw the 2019's SCI for the first time, and then he was at SCI this year, and I watched a bunch of his matches. Everything about Daniel Makabe is awesome to me. He has a unique entrance, which it's a song by Godspeed You Black Emperor, which is so cool. Who has that as their entrance music?
Yep.
It's not like some upbeat rock song wrestlers normally have, which I'm fine with. But the fact that it's this droning, slower kind of music, it's so cool. His look's awesome. I love his style. I think I said it reminds me a lot of William Regal, the way he wrestles, and it does. He doesn't do any strikes really. It's all submissions and holds and everything cool. So he snuck in there at number 5, and I swear again, I'm not pandering. I really I became this weekend especially a giant Daniel Makabe fan.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to say right now. Top 5 favorites right now. Like I said, just to show you how now Jay White is not in my top 5, but he's one of those guys that I've been watching him over New Japan for a long time, but the fact that he's over here on American soil wrestling now, it piqued my interest even more about him. You know what I'm saying? So that's how quickly it can change. So for me, I'm going to go to number 5. It's the guy that, I've been talking about a lot here lately. We just seen him wrestle Saturday night. I'm waiting for a push in Impact. I'm waiting for a push in AAW. My man, Jake, what's my name?
Something!
There
it is.
Jake Something is my number 5 right now. I love big men, and he's in the mix right now. So big men wrestlers, you douchies. All right, let's go with number 4, Primo.
Number 4 for me. So this past month or so, I've been trying to really branch out and watch more than what I would usually watch. So I've been keeping up more with NWA, and my number 4 has held the 10 pounds of gold for almost 3 years.
Nice.
That is Nick Aldis.
Yeah.
And he's also married to Mickey James.
Yeah. He is, yes.
The dealer, not the gambler. He's the dealer,
Yeah.
I believe. He's the dealer.
I also enjoyed watching him when he was Magnus in Impact or TNA.
Yeah, I think he holds the bell well. He's a champion's champion. Yeah, he looks professional. He plays the part. He's good.
He fits the image for that belt.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love how he holds it, like how the old school guys would hold it. He just
how Flair
holds it. Yeah, just holds it.
Yeah. It's always on display. Always on display.
He's not one of the cool new champions that slings it over their shoulder,
puts it, or like the Usos who wear it like a necklace.
I hate that so much.
Ziggler who turns it backwards.
All right, Adam. Number 4.
My number 4 is a guy that strapped a rocket to himself this weekend, and is Damian Tangra.
Nice.
Because when the match with Makabe got announced, I thought, I got to get familiar with this guy. First match I watched of his was with Brandon Williams. I think it was Action. And I said, wow, where are they finding these guys? Where are they hiding? So I just hit up that search function on IWTV, and I've just watched everything I could find of him in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
And then, probably the best match from SCI weekend is the one that no one's seen yet that wasn't there, and that's the Tangra Makabe match from Thursday night. And I think it's going to be out soon. And then I think when you guys see it and other people see it, it's gonna pique your interest even more.
I'm ready for them to drop it. We're all going to watch it when it gets dropped. So, and they announced Tangra as the first entrant next year, right?
Yes, sir. And beautiful.
Yeah, man, love it. AJ, number 4.
Number 4. So normally this particular wrestler would be higher on my list, but he's been booked into oblivion as of late. But I still love him to death. Number 4, Shinsuke Nakamura. I've been ever since.
Click. Boo.
Boogs.
I said
Nakamura.
Really loud in Chicago.
More like boogs. Am I right? High fives for
He'll be here.
everyone. Boo earns. So I started liking Shinsuke Nakamura when he was doing his AJ Styles stuff in New Japan. And when he came over here, I immediately was just a giant Shinsuke mark. His first match with Sami Zayn in NXT is still probably one of my favorite matches of all time. That was
so cool.
It was so awesome.
Yep.
And even though his main roster run has been an absolute travesty, I still love him to death. Like his entrance music, I believe, was on my top 5, or his entrance was in my top 5. I love the strong style. I love his finisher. He's just charisma all the time, over the place, and he's so goddamn weird. I mean, he's so gosh darn weird. But it's awesome. I love everything about Shinsuke Nakamura except for his current booking, which makes me sad.
Wow. Yep. Good one there. All right, my number 4 guy, higher up in the food chain here right now. I kind of feel like he's kind of spearheading this whole New Japan Impact AEW relationship. It's Kenny Omega, man. He's the big face in wrestling right now. I feel like he is, has a lot to do with, wrestling popping right now. And, you just think about the matches, if AEW signs all these people that supposedly are coming, to me, one of the first things I think of is Bryan versus Omega, Punk versus Omega. You know what I'm saying? It's always Omega because he's that, big main guy on the card. And, he's showing up all over the place right now. So, I love it. He's one of those guys really building wrestling for me. So number 4 for me is Kenny Omega. So, all right, top 3, Primo, let's go.
Number 3 for me is actually the belt collector, as I like to call him, Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
So AAA, AEW, and Impact. Basically, I thought about it like this. And normally, I don't speak too much about Omega because that's Dirty's champion every single week.
Yes, it is.
I realized anytime he is on my screen, I stop what I'm doing and I pay attention.
Right. Yep.
So that's why he's my number 3, and he's just awesome. Let's get real.
Yeah.
And he's doing the whole belt collector thing right now, and that's like a total old school thing. It's really cool.
Yeah.
When was the last time someone did that? Was Kurt Angle and TNA. When it was actually TNA?
He had like the NWA and the TNA.
Yeah, when he had all the belts, and then he lost all the belts in one night, which is still amazing.
Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
All right, so Adam, what you got at number 3?
Number 3, some more stuff resonated from this weekend. On my car ride home, I couldn't help but thinking about what Daniel Garcia had done.
Yeah.
And then I got home, and then I got to watch the 1 hour the Broadway match.
Yeah.
Daniel Garcia
already. You watch him for another hour, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I've got my IWTV app and
dope, man.
Searched out a bunch of stuff from him. Got it all bookmarked. So he's high on my list right now.
Yep. All right. So AJ, you did your number 3?
No, I did number 4. Number 3 is. I'm sorry. Number 3. I'm fine. Number 3 is Miro. Miro's number 3.
Got your champion.
He's the best champion right now. He cuts the best promos. He no-sold a DDT, but then got up and sold it anyways. Everything Miro does is just the best. I'm so glad that AEW decided to do something with him. And he's just the best. I want to watch him all the time. Just do anything.
You know what? I don't know if we ever talked about, and I talked to Dirty about this over the weekend, was him changing the belt.
The green and white.
Yeah, which was a perfectly Miro thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, Dirty, you're up.
I mean, I like it. It looks pretty slick, but it's kind of like that belt's still really new. They go to changing it already, so.
It's Miro. He does as he pleases.
It's white, white strap and the green outline.
It's like when Ultimate Warrior kept changing the IC belt when he
yellow strap.
Yeah, the
I
white
thought
strap.
Maybe they would put like that red in there so it could be kind of the Bulgaria.
Yeah,
All right, so for me at number 3, if you know me, I'm a fan of this guy.
Down with OPP.
Huh?
Go ahead.
So he's usually in the top 2 wrestlers for me, but right now I got a guy above him just because of the work that he's doing. But for me at number 3, I've been watching him on the Indies forever. I got a couple of his T-shirts. Sammy Callahan, man, Death Machine.
Yeah, good
nice.
I'm a heel guy, and he's a great heel. He's done a lot of great stuff, and he's always on my TV. I stopped to watch him because he's kind of controversial. When you go me and Adam can, when you go to watch him wrestle live, you need an umbrella because he likes to spit a lot, but but other than that, man, he's a great heel, man. He's been a great heel champion also in Impact. So
kind of like always, from day one of me knowing you were always a Sammy guy.
Yeah, I was, man. I was.
Kind of like when Infamy spit the water out of AAW the other day. Got everywhere.
Watch out! Yeah. They did the Triple Eights.
They gave that dude on the corner a shower.
Yes, they did. He was not immune. Well, it looks like he was fine with it.
All right, so my number 2 is the current reigning, defending tribal chief, universal champion, the guy who I let wear my T-shirt. They acknowledge him because people acknowledge me. I know, we get it. But it's Roman Reigns. I love the fact that, I've said this many times, the fact that he was hated because they strapped a rocket to him, and because they was forced down our throats, right? And none of us liked him. And then, unfortunately, due to real life issues of him actually having cancer, we all actually do have hearts, and he came back and returned from cancer and was a babyface. And he's since returning from cancer, he's become such a heel, and got over that way. And I'm all for it. I really enjoy everything he does. Like, I like the a couple weeks ago when he originally declined John Cena.
Yeah,
that was hilarious. That stuff is hilarious to me. Where he's just like, no, I'm not gonna do it.
Yep.
Funny. Anyway, my number 2 is Roman Reigns.
I think that Roman Reigns right now is the most important performer in all of professional wrestling. I do. I don't. I mean, because if you're on WWE, then that's like the big time for now. I don't think that's going to stay that way much longer. And then he heads up, WWE. So right now, like, he's the only one, or not right now, I should say, for the last 6 months, he's been kind of keeping wrestling afloat. Now it's going to change real fast.
Yeah, and I've said it before too. The only tragedy is that he's carrying the Universal title instead of the WWE Championship.
Yes, which I agree. It is.
I don't agree. I think either one makes them. I don't really see as one being above the other. I really don't. I just see as one as a Monday champion, one as a Friday champion.
That's what they want you to see, Dirty.
I know that's what they want you to see, but I don't think it matters. If it did matter, they would make it a thing more.
Old man Grumpy disagrees.
If they go back to having one world title, which one's going?
Universal title.
Universal title better go.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, but that's what'll happen.
Yeah, the lineage of the WWE Championship,
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so where are we at? Number 2?
Number two.
Yep.
Number 2.
Number 2, Adam.
Me. My number 2. This is, the kind of wrestlers that get me to get in my car and drive 4, 5, 6, 7 hours.
Right. I can vouch. He does it.
Yeah. Somebody that me and you have met up to watch wrestle before. The flag bearer, the foundation, the representative of pure wrestling, John Gresham.
John Gresham. I thought he'd be your number 1, so I'm interested now. All right.
Yeah. Gresham, man. He's been wrestling at this level for, I don't know, years now. 3, 4, 5 years, he might be the best wrestler in the world all those years. And it doesn't matter if he's wrestling a big Ring of Honor show or a podunk indie. He wrestles it like he's the best wrestler in the world, and he wants to show everybody that he's the best wrestler in the world. And it's if you buy a ticket to go watch him, then you're safe. It's good money.
Yep. Yeah, he's great, man. One of the best technical mat wrestlers out there. I think he's still the ROH Pure champ right now. Still.
I think so. Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah. Dope.
Yeah. Heading up that Pure division, I think. Yeah.
Good stuff, man. I love the octopus.
His mask. That mask is awesome.
Yeah, man. It's original. It's freaky looking. I love it. Good stuff. AJ, number 2.
Number 2 is currently going through some labors, as it were. Chris Jericho. Oh, yeah. Number 2. The only reason he didn't make number 1 is because of, I'm sure all of you can guess. But what Chris Jericho does, we talked about it all last week where he did a death match at his point in his career. Didn't need to. Just loves the business. Everything he does is just golden. And like, you could have asked me to make this list 10 years ago, Chris Jericho would be on it. You could ask me to make this list 20 years ago, Chris Jericho would be on it. He'll probably be on it, 10 years from now if he's still.
There's lists out there of real goats. I know that name gets thrown around, but there's lists out there, the greatest of all time. Jericho's on the short list now.
Yep, without question. In every aspect of the business, he is on there. So he's my number 2. He probably deserves to be number 1, but
I always feel like ultimately in this business, longevity is the ultimate key, is it not? Like how much people stay relevant. Nobody's done it more than him. Like he is he's the baby face, so to speak, of that. That's how you do it. So
like he took Juventud Guerrero's mask off in 1998.
Right, and we just circled back around.
This is 22 years ago.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, for me, number 2, he was just on my list last week for our favorite AEW wrestlers. There's no bigger heel really in the business right now than MJF.
He's so awesome.
I love the heels. Once again, I've said this a lot. Me and Adam saw him, cut his teeth and flourish in the indies, man. The same MJF you guys are seeing now is the same one that's, been getting over on the indies, man. He's great. His mic skills, wrestling, he'll talk you into a seat to buying a ticket to see him get his, teeth kicked in, or you'll buy a ticket to hear him cut a promo on somebody. When he grabs a mic or wrestles, like he's money, man. To me, like I'm wondering what he's going to do every Wednesday. That's how good he is to me. So, all right, Primo, if you want to get us started, man, we're all the way to number 1 now. Start with number 5, go to 1.
Number 5, I had Kota Ibushi. Number 4, Nick Aldis. Number 3, Roman Reigns. Number 2, I'm sorry, flip that. Number 3, Kenny Omega. Number 2, Roman Reigns. And number 1. This week in history, I didn't put it on my list earlier for this reason. This week in history, August 9th, 1999, the clock finally hit 0, and Y2J debuted. Chris Jericho is my number 1 right now still, for all the reasons AJ said. Also,
already on the top 5, even though he's still wrestling.
Well, he's one of my favorites, but we went with favorite to watch right now, and he's not being booked well enough.
Well, I should have said 2 wrestlers that are awake. He's still asleep from carrying cross last.
When are we gonna do the wrestlers we hate?
I know,
not soon enough.
Go away, hate wrestlers.
So Chris Jericho, his ability to adapt, everything we just talked about. My number 1 right now to watch is Chris Jericho. I've enjoyed watching him for as long as I've been a wrestling fan.
No signs of slowing down.
All right, Adam, who you got, man? Number 1.
All right, man, you're repping the shirt right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what I said a minute ago of, when I start thinking about, what's going to make me get in my car, but, by myself and drive way too long. And, he was one of the big reasons for me to go to SCI. Yep. Me and you were talking about driving to St. Louis to watch him next month. Yep. And I think I'm going to drive to Nashville in October when he comes in for the SUP return.
SUP return, yeah.
He's coming in for that. Kind of some of the stuff that you talked about. Did a lot of prep work before SCI and rewatched a bunch of his stuff.
Yeah.
And it's extremely my stuff. From his wanting to tell a big story in his matches to, randomly taking just psychotic bumps during his matches. It's extremely my stuff.
Right. And I want to point out too, Adam is friends with Daniel too. So on top of that, he's super cool dude. You get to watch your favorite wrestler as well, is one of your buddies too. So
we know he's a cool dude. Everybody go back and listen to last week's episode.
All right, episode 21.
That was a great interview. The story of why he wears number 9 and that
was cool. It was I listened to that episode on my way down to SCI. So hearing that stuff was really cool.
Nice, awesome. All right, AJ.
So
you're
number 5. We have Daniel Makabe. Number 4, Shinsuke Nakamura. Number 3, with the sexy wife, Miro. Number 2, Chris Jericho. And number 1, I'm sure you guys can guess. Finn Balor, my number 1.
I was like Bobby Roode.
I'm a real American.
Yeah, Finn Balor, your boy.
Finn Balor, my boy. He will probably forever be my number 1 because I'm a giant Finn Mark. Always will be. I don't care how he's being booked. I do care how he's being booked, obviously. I don't. The booking will never make him drop. Like I think he's so creative and he's such a good performer in ring and his entrance. He's been number one on like 3 of my lists.
Yeah,
so far. I don't know if you guys have noticed.
I want him on the Demon. I want him back with the Demon.
I think the Demon will come back when he beats Roman Reigns for the Universal title. He'll bring the Demon back to.
He'll just be Demon champion.
Yes, be Demon champion. By the way,
on what pay-per-view that'll happen?
Have you guys ever seen the? It was a document. I can't remember if it was on ESPN or the WWE Network, where he goes into explaining all the mythology behind the name Finn Balor.
No.
It's like
Chronicle or something.
I know it's like an Irish folklore.
Yep, old Irish folklore where Balor was like the Demon King and Finn was like the hero that defeats Balor, and it's a really cool story.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It was on the network.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. And so yeah, he'll always. I'm a huge Finn mark. Like it's always will be. I'm unapologetic about it. I need more Finn T-shirts because I keep losing mine.
All right, let's get to mine here. Number 5, Jake Something. 4, Kenny Omega. 3, Sami Callihan. 2, MJF. Number 1 for me, no surprise. You know, if you know me, you know who my favorite wrestler in the world is. He hasn't been on TV very much lately, but you know, I watched this guy's Kevin Steen on the Indies forever before he finally, you know, I feel like I've watched him so much. Like I've never cried watching wrestling, but when he debuted on NXT, not the Raw, like it was NXT, like I sincerely felt like my son had just graduated from like high school. Like when he showed up, like I was sincerely like that drawn by him. Yeah, you know, Kevin Owens is where it's at for me, and he's always been, you know, my favorite wrestler. You know, like I said. You know, you guys heard me say this before. You know, he looks like me. You know, he gives me the hope that I could wrestle at this age.
He looks like a wrestling fan. Yeah,
yeah, he does look like a wrestling fan.
He legitimately looks like my brother.
So yeah, and I love watching him wrestle. I could get up literally every day with a cup of coffee in the morning and watch Sammy and KO go at it. Like,
yeah,
Generico, Kevin Steen, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like, yeah, it was like, he's always been my number 1, you know, and, which is funny for me because I grew up such an American wrestling, like, you know, that's what my dad grew up on, you know, was NWA and stuff. And like, you know, now my favorite wrestler is from Canada.
A French-speaking Canadian.
Yeah. I love Kevin though, man. You know, the bumps, the fire, you know, just, yeah, everything, man. Like, I love him. So
I loved how excited that first SmackDown, whenever they brought the fans back, how fired up was he?
Oh yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, he was trying to contain himself, you know. Yeah, he's like blowing smoke, literally, like
kicking the ropes.
Yeah.
So that is the dropkick discussion of the week. Nice job, boys, all across the board there a little bit.
Yeah.
I will say that Chris Jericho has probably been mentioned on more of our episodes than anybody else.
Probably, yeah. He always
and has appeared on more of our lists total than anyone else too.
All right, news and notes and rumors here. Excited? You guys excited for kind of the explosive wrestling going on right now? Adam, let's talk about it, man. Rampage, SummerSlam coming up. You know, what do you think, man? You know, is Punk, Brian, is this thing happening? What?
I have no clue. Well, you know, the writing's on the wall with the Punk stuff. We've talked about that. I've got a ticket to that show. Hopefully the world lets that happen. You know, we're getting really close to it.
Yeah.
Fans need to be there for all that stuff that you've mentioned. Any of these monumental events that are coming up, if it's Daniel Bryan or if it's Punk, I hope whatever's going on. I hope it happens with fans.
We need it to make it right, to have clout. Like Punk can't debut in an empty arena.
Nope.
Like,
no.
just can't happen. Or Daniel Bryan. You know, like
you just put it off. Then you just pay those guys to sit home for 6 months.
Sure. Yeah.
So this is from Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select. Says that one of the worst kept secrets in pro wrestling industry at the moment is CM Punk's imminent return to the squared circle. Punk is all but confirmed to appear August 20th, and he is currently in training for that debut, and it's apparently going really well.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Anybody got any predictions? What's going to happen with Bray Wyatt? Anybody?
AEW.
No.
I like Primo. I think you called it. You said AEW new leader of the Dark Order.
What? Oh, you said Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt, yes.
Oh, I thought you said Braun Strowman.
No,
I did not say that.
No.
Bray Wyatt. Yeah, that could very well happen. I mean, he was Brody Lee's real life friend.
Mm-hmm.
If they're gonna do a homage thing, then yeah, sure. But I don't really see. He's such a character.
Yeah.
It's hard to see him to be able to come, to be able to express to his fullest without going to another televised promotion.
Yeah, exactly. I think it would be hard for him to do that in the indies, but I mean, I'd be okay with it.
What do you think?
I kind of think that his next step will be right back with WWE.
Really?
Yeah.
I think they made a mistake and bring him back.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with all the cuts. I don't think all of it sticks. Like you remember they even cut Joe a while back.
Yeah, and brought him back like 3 weeks later.
Yeah, it lasted no time at all.
Well, same thing with Zelina Vega. Cut her and then brought her right back.
Yeah, so.
And then cut her husband.
Yeah, and then cut her husband.
Same thing could happen. I mean, it could just be a little break or whatever. So, all right, let's just say I'm gonna just say he don't go back to WWE. My thing is, as we've talked about, AEW can't sign everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Impact's going to have to make a big splash sooner or later. Braun Strowman isn't that big of a splash. You know what I mean?
He's big for them.
Yeah, but I'm saying if we're going to move the needle, if we're going to put eyeballs on Impact,
Braun Strowman won't do it.
That. Yeah. Now Braun might do it in a new Wyatt family or something with Bray.
Yeah,
that might. But I think Bray, but I don't know if
I think that's a great fit.
Yeah.
You think you see Braun coming in just destroying W. Morrissey? Who's soft?
Right. I mean, the Wyatts did feud with the Cup of Haters.
Cup of Haters? Cup of Haters? Cup of Haters?
God damn it. We almost went a whole episode without
SAWFT. So.
Yep. Here's the part where AJ tells us he hates
Enzo.
So, you see, Adam, the thing is.
And you can't teach that.
I hate
Bada boom!
Enzo.
Realest guys in the room. How you doing?
I hate Big Cass.
I'm with you,
hate
bro.
whatever iterations they tend to come up with in any part of their futures or presence or any. That is okay. So go away.
I'm co-signing everything that you're selling right now.
He likes it.
Yeah. I'm calling it Enzo Heat from now on. Go away Heat is Enzo Heat for me.
I recently saw an interview with Enzo, and he was talking normal, and it was the strangest thing.
Right?
Does he have like a polite...
just a normal, like a deep, like raspy accent, or not? No, like normal voice.
So he's not like Sir Murderhawk, where he's
Sir Murderhawk. If you're not familiar with Lance Arthur, Sir Lance Arthur, we call Lance Archer, Sir Murderhawk.
Yep. Sir Lance Arthur of the Murderhawk.
Yep.
So it was mentioned, just a few minutes ago. We'll get back to it. More releases just happened with NXT. Bronson Reed got let loose.
What in the world?
Sure.
Alex Zane, which me and Adam know, he was Ari Sterling, I think was his name, in NXT. So he got released. But Bronson, man, that was kind of wild because
I thought for sure he was on the come up.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, that was.
They were putting him on main event, like kind of like.
That's where everyone goes.
Adam, what was his name on the Indies? Was it Jonah Rock?
Yep.
Jonah Rock. Yeah.
That's him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Did he have 2 title runs in NXT with the U.S. title or
just he had to won the North American Championship.
North American Championship?
Yeah.
I thought he had 2 runs with it, but yeah, it's that was a strange cut.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
But I will say this: if he don't go back to WWE, Bronson seems like an Impact guy.
Oh yeah, and I think I would love to see him on Impact.
Yeah, I think he fits in there. That'd be nice. So,
we're just drafting for all the shows.
Yeah. For news and notes, guys, rest in peace, Bobby Eaton. He was one half of the Midnight Express, one of the best pure wrestlers of all time, one of the biggest guys of my childhood as far as wrestling, with Sweet Stan Lane, Dennis Condrey. Everybody remembers the Alabama Jam, leg drop off the top rope. Adam, man, Bobby was awesome, right?
Yeah. It's always cool to hear people remember the best of you when something like that happens. But this guy, it seems like everybody had a good story. And I forget who told the story, but they said they saw him walk out of a venue once before he wrestled, and there was a homeless guy sitting in the rain. And he walked out there and he gave the guy his jacket and a bottle of whiskey and walked back in.
That is awesome.
I thought that was pretty badass. Yeah.
One other story I read, too, that said a lot of the wrestlers always told their daughters, never date a wrestler unless it's Bobby Eaton.
That's awesome.
Yeah. They always said that, man. So so that was really cool, man. So all right, another thing's Max Caster dropped a little Simone Biles bomb. What happened with that? Anybody know?
I will after I Google it.
Yeah.
I'll throw my 2 cents in here.
Sure.
This is a big broadcast, and there's no way that he went out there and spit those lines without people knowing what he was going to say. So I don't like all the heat being on that dude. It seems like a bad decision, but it wasn't just his. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way that they that whoever, because unless he went completely off script, which I can see that happening, I don't see anyone approving this.
Yeah, unless that was one he had in his pocket and decided to drop at the last minute or something. But I didn't see any kind of like, we don't condone this. I didn't see. Was there like a rebuttal from Khan or nothing? Nothing.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
That's so someone had to have seen that before.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't see anything about any kind of repercussions or anything so far.
I will say, man, I've enjoyed them so far because I like edgy zingers. You know what I mean? That one was, I don't need to go that far, but edgy zingers are, kind of fun. So, all right, so Rampage.
You're talking about Max Caster, right?
Yeah.
He was suspended.
Oh, did he get suspended?
I think that was from non-reputable sources.
Okay. I got it from WrestlingInc.com.
Is that a reputable source? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Rod Geary and all of them, so they're usually pretty reputable. Yeah. So I was just wondering if anything happened to him. So back to what I was saying. Rampage starts up this Friday, man. Everybody's predicting things. So Adam, give me a quick prediction. What happens this Friday? Like, what's the big thing that'll happen?
It's the week before the big one in Chicago, so they're in Pittsburgh. I think they close it by officially letting the cat out of the bag on Punk, right?
Yeah, so I think so too. Yep. Any chance we get Daniel Bryan this Friday and then Punk next week?
Oh my gosh. My heart. Man, I can't. I think that they're going to hold off on Bryan. Yeah. I'm hearing they're going to do that maybe at the big New York show.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. All right. 2 I want to put in here. We are now official sponsors of Iron Spirit Pro, October the 8th in Bloomington. It's going to be in Normal, Illinois. Me and AJ are going to be at the show. We are official sponsors now of Iron Spirit Pro. Mark it on your calendar.
October 8th, right?
Yep,
at the normal Community Action Center.
Yep.
On Douglas Street in Normal. It's going to be fantastic. Get your tickets. Come on out. It's going to be great.
Come on out. Great. Come meet AJ. Come meet me. We're going to give it away a bunch of free stuff. We're going to be hanging out, watching some wrestling, and hopefully cheering on our boy Beef there. Possibly.
Yeah, they haven't announced the card yet, but
not yet.
Hopefully he comes back.
Speaking of cards, I do have what we have for the card for NXT TakeOver 36 so far. So far, we have the women's NXT Championship match for between Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. Yeah. We have the $1 Million Championship match if LA Knight wins. Then Ted DiBiase also becomes his butler. We have the NXT UK Championship match between Walter and Ilya Dragunov. That's going to be a banger.
Yeah.
Banger.
A real crack of a fight, as Volkanov says. Volkanovski. And the 2 out of 3 falls match between Adam Cole Bebe and Cool Kyle. Traditional match, fall 1, Street Fight fall 2, and Steel Cage match for the 3rd and necessary fall.
2 hours.
2 hours for that, just for them.
2 hours.
Yep.
And then you have the main event, which is Karrion Kross against Samoa Joe for the NXT Championship. You think he drops it?
To Samoa Joe?
Pretty cool. It seems weird, but it seems cool.
Then they just let him go on the main roster and stop bringing him back to NXT.
And let him go and flounder in the mid card because they don't know how to call up people properly to the main roster.
Like the right person to drop it to. So, yeah.
I mean, I'd be okay with it.
Let me give a big shout out to a guy who was on the show a couple weeks ago, RP Davies. He got his first win last week in Odyssey Pro Wrestling versus Scotty Rock, and me and Primo saw the finish to the match.
Congrats, RP. That Superman punch, dude.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was Superman punch off the top rope for the finish. So, yeah, pretty nice. Pretty nice. Congrats there, RP. All right, next up, before we finish up the show here, it's time for a little squared circle questions. What we have here is 3 categories: wrestler, pay-per-view, and wrestling potpourri, as we have 3 categories. Primo is current champ. I am up to take on Primo, and AJ is going to read the questions tonight. So here we go as we get started. AJ.
Okay, I'm ready. So, since I lost both my title and the rematch, we have a new challenger, Dirty Bird himself. Ta-da! So, since you are new...
What's my name?
Dirty Bird!
Too many syllables. Can't say it. There's like 3.
All
right, Dirty, what category do you want?
Wait, why is I'm the champ?
Primo's the champ. He gets the pick.
No. I've had enough of him.
AJ's the moderator.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I'm MJFing this right now.
Right.
So the champ doesn't get to pick anything.
Nope. Regular champ does, but champ, no.
Give me the pay-per-view. Here we go.
Pay-per-view.
All right, here we go.
All right, ready?
Remember, you can't.
Okay, so just in case, I was gonna tell Adam in case. So he's gonna build up this pay-per-view. He's gonna start with like the first match all the way up to the main event. If we say like if he's talking and suddenly we're like SummerSlam 2001, like in the middle of it, and that's not the answer, we can no longer speak.
Yeah.
Must be silent.
You can't just blurt out answers.
Yeah.
Until you're right. So.
All right. God, I'm scared you're gonna get this within like two questions.
Not necessarily, man.
You did one from the 80s.
I've lost a lot. I've lost a lot of info.
Starcade 2 from 1981. So, all right.
We love you, Dirty.
Curtain jerker for this particular pay-per-view was Tatanka versus Shawn Michaels. Tatanka won by countout. Up next, we have the Steiner brothers against the Headstrickers. Steiner brothers won with a Frankensteiner. Up next, we had not one,
I was up here, Primo. I was up
but
here.
two doinks.
I don't care.
Yeah, we're gonna need to.
Yeah.
So, one Doink was wrestling Crush, and one with the help of a second Doink who was hiding under the ring. Lex Luger beat Mr. Perfect by Mr. Perfect bumping around Lex Luger while he basically stood in the middle of the ring.
I believe that was the narcissist version of Lex Luger.
It was indeed. Razor Ramon beat Bob Backlund, who looked totally out of place. All right, we're getting to the two obvious clues right now. This particular pay-per-view,
I know.
Come on.
This was held in Las Vegas, Nevada, at Caesar's Palace. The main event.
Outside. It was outside.
In the car parking lot. The main event was Bret Hart versus Yokozuna. However, neither of those two left with the title that night. It was for the WWF Championship. Neither left with the title because of a match that I forgot to mention earlier. Brutus the Barber Beefcake and Hulk Hogan, who returned, had a tag match with Money Inc. for the tag belts. Money Inc. lost by DQ, I believe. So in the main event, Yokozuna beats Bret Hart and then immediately loses the belt to Hulk Hogan. 20 seconds later, Hulk Hogan gets the title for his 5th reign. What pay-per-view is this?
I'm really kind of bad at this. So I'm going to say WrestleMania 9. I don't know.
I need a bell, because that is correct. It is WrestleMania 9. Primo, where were you on that one?
I was waiting for him to get it wrong. And I was going to be like, when I was waiting for you to be like, WrestleMania, what year? That was going to be like, all right, keep going.
Yeah.
I was at a complete loss. I was about to say SummerSlam like 94 or something.
I remember all that in the brain. I'm just trying to put
it all together. WrestleMania 9, considered one of the worst WrestleManias of all time.
It doesn't sound that great, to be honest.
It was awful. Like, I watched it on the network and hated every second of it.
Steiner's Head Shrinkers was fun.
Yeah. Adam, how quickly did you know that one?
The first match, yeah.
Yeah. Adam's the guy we don't want to play this.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
You said that, and I was thinking about I think the Head Shrinkers tried some sort of doomsday device, and Rick Steiner caught him and power slammed him.
One of the best
the
spots
other one's shoulders
ever. Yeah. Yes.
Caught
him.
I told you, you're just gonna be watching from the outside, looking at how dumb we are.
All right, AJ, give me wrestling potpourri.
Wrestling potpourri. All right. It's a pretty simple question. Survivor Series 1990 had 2 important debuts. One was the Gobbledygooker. Who was the other one?
Undertaker.
Yeah. Hey, Primo hits it with the Undertaker.
All right. Tiebreaker is wrestler.
You want to know who I had initially until I realized their birthday was August 10th? Wade Barrett.
I've got some bad news.
Okay. This gentleman was born July 2nd, 1973. He made his debut in the WWE in 1997 while still working for an insurance company. By the way, this is all pulled right from Wikipedia. His debut match was in a tournament for the WWE Light Heavyweight Championship, which was A, a thing, and B, vacant. What's next? Oh, on May 29th, 2000, he and his tag partner, who I won't name yet, defeated Edge and Christian for their first tag titles. Other titles that this person held.
Was it Edge and Christian's first tag titles or their first tag titles?
It was their first tag titles.
Okay.
Other titles are, this guy was an AAW tag champion with Dallas Knight. He was ranked number 33 in the PWI Top Wrestlers in 2000. He's a 2-time WWE Tag Team Champion. after he left the WWE, he became a firefighter down in
Scotty Too Hotty.
Scotty Too Hotty. The champ retains.
Who knows that dumb stuff?
WORM. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, I was a Scotty Too Hotty fan.
Were you? Okay. Because I wasn't. I
was going back and forth between Crash
find
Holly and Scotty Too Hotty.
Scotty Too Hotty.
Brian Taylor was his name, like in the lightweight tourney, right?
Right.
Yeah. Brian Taylor.
Yeah.
Scott. What is it? Scott Gerald was his actual name.
I really was a big fan of his back when I was a kid, and I don't remember. It was one of those days where I was like going through different wrestlers, like where are they at now? That's how I knew he was a firefighter.
Because of the firefighter.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, Primo stays the champ. AJ gets a shot at him next week. All right, AJ, what's going on next week's pod?
What is next week's pod?
Next week's pod, we got the interview with Ishmael Vaughn.
Oh, that's right.
Graduate of the Nightmare Factory.
Yeah, super excited to talk to him. I think he's going to be very, very cool guest to have because he's new.
How cool is the knowledge he's going to have? Like that fresh knowledge.
Yep, right out of the academy, and you can't get much greener than that. And we get to talk to him. It's going to be so cool to just kind of pick his brain and see what's going on with him.
Yep, it's going to be fun.
I'm really looking forward to that. And then we'll have your usual AEW, Indie, SmackDown, maybe Raw if we feel like it, NXT.
Yep. Promo School is coming back next week. Next week is going to be our top 5 favorite Stone Cold Steve Austin matches.
Top 5 Stone Cold matches.
Hell yeah!
Well, so yeah, that's going to be fun.
I already picked 6 for my Stone Cold matches. Now I just have to, in no particular order. I'm like, I knew 6 of them right off the bat, and I'm like, okay, now what am I gonna do? And next week I'll get another shot at Squared Circle champ.
All right, let's talk about next week too. It is the Go Home SummerSlam edition, where as the week after that, the trophy goes back up for grabs as we're going to make our picks for SummerSlam and TakeOver for the weekend. So that's going to be fun coming up. So, man, it was a really awesome pod today. Adam was on, man, brother. Thanks for all your input. Thank you for covering SCI for us, man. You're welcome back anytime, brother. You know that.
Yeah, thank you very much, Adam.
Thank you, man. It's the first time I've done a podcast, so
welcome to it.
It's fun.
Yeah, man.
Good, man. Glad you had some fun. Can't wait to go to some wrestling with you soon, man. So
let's think about September, man.
Yeah, let's do it, man. It's going to be awesome.
Is that St. Louis? Yeah, I want to be in on that. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it, man. Going to be fun. September 24th, we're going to head down there for that one. So, man, it was a good show today. Appreciate everybody being on, boys. Primo, AJ, Adam, appreciate it, man. You guys all rocked it out as usual. So we're going to close the show here as we always do. If you guys don't have anything else here for me. All right. Well, let's get rolling here. AJ, take us home.
Grab them cakes. Cakes. I don't know.